whatever. I don't know the intro to this one. There's going to be a lot more formality. But if you guys tuned into our last podcast with the girls, we spoke about, I don't know, what we were supposed to talk about cars and coffee.
Yeah.
And, like, where girls kind of lied with that. Or the girls kind of lied with that in terms of, like, did they like it, X, Y, Z. And it took a really good tangent. I got a lot of positive feedback in terms of, I guess, what did we write down? We talked about love, loyalty, male, female roles, again, in parentheses of just what we saw them growing up. And so the concept of this one.
You got neat-ass handwriting.
Do I?
Yeah. If I wrote that, I wouldn't be able to read it.
That's crazy. So what I pitched to these guys and what we're running with today, kind of last minute, is I want the perspective from the guys, and then I'm going to team up with Kelsey and Kristen as well on the same bullet points to kind of get their their reactions in terms of how we view things, how traditionally me and Greg grew up, how Andy kind of sees things from the male perspective, but not in such a traditional way. So there's a lot of different, on the panel alone here today, there's a lot of different insights. And then we're going to get the female's perspective. So what I mentioned beforehand is because this is a sensitive topic, this is not a right or wrong conversation. This is just how I grew up, Greg grew up, Andy grew up, Kelsey, Kristen, just our viewpoints, how we saw them as right or wrong as they may be. It's how we view, how we could possibly change and learn more. And kind of just having conversation. Like I said, there's no right. It's a very opinionated podcast. This isn't, if you're going to get your feelings hurt, then click off right now because I don't really, this is a no, what's the top? It's a no holds bar.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So that was, yeah.
No holds barred.
So.
You want to get right into it?
Yeah. I mean, all right. So how did you want to start it?
Well, not necessarily in any particular way.
I put these two specifically because those are the ones we really elaborated on downstairs.
So I feel like in order to really talk about the topics we want to talk about, we kind of have to talk about
the first one.
No, Europe.
The European.
I don't know a lot about European traditional stuff, so I need to be educated with that.
Okay.
Like, we were talking downstairs and how. Let's start with you. How your family structure has been growing up.
Okay.
And maybe some of the values that were instilled in you, and how growing up you were like, all right, when I'm older, I need to do this, I need to do XYZ to be the man of the house or whatever, and whatever way you see it. And then we'll talk to you about how you grew up and how watching your parents be in a relationship maybe instilled some stuff into you, maybe taught you what you don't want to be like, things like that. So you can go ahead.
Greek, European background, first generation, kind of born there but brought here immediately. So definitely not. I claim first generation, not that I don't really say born there because wasn't really raised on that aspect of things. But the way, all right. So because a lot of girls DM'd me after that, and they were not happy about the things I said. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, it's not a right or wrong. It's just the way I grew up. And me and Andy even butted heads downstairs in terms of just opinions that I had that I grew up on. So quite literally, the male of the household was just a provider, nothing more, nothing less. It was a very, very emotionalist household in that aspect of things. Both parents grew up in the household. Obviously, dad was just not around, just quite simply working. Gave, again, what if you would ask my mother, the life she wanted, raised 4 children, stayed at home up until we were pretty much on our own. Honestly, I want to say maybe 12, 13, and then we started figuring shit out. We had to grow up very fast. We didn't have a choice. Money just got dry. And the way I just saw things growing up is it made dad the man he now currently is in terms of just, he expects to come home. He expects food to be made. And again.
Right. That's a huge thing. Like, okay. I was going to ask that.
Okay. Dad always came home every night. Okay, first of all, let me start with that. No matter what, angry, sad, fight. You remember the Christmas time when COVID happened and a lot of shit hit the fan, as with most families it did. It was rocky for a month. We canceled the Christmas that year. Brothers were just like disarray, whatever. That's a side tangent. But Dad threw a big hissy fit, and I knew shit had to change because he mentioned drawing up divorce papers. And that was hard. That was hard. Now I had to become the man of the house because I'm like, fuck. If this shit happens, mom can't do it alone.
Yeah, who's gonna?
Mom can't do it alone. So my beliefs, my passion, I guess we'll label it. It doesn't matter if you're sad, and I've had these conversations with you all the time. Doesn't matter if you're sad. Doesn't matter if you're happy. You can't pay the bills with a hug and a kiss. So where that social status ran in my family in terms of just a monetary structure, of just making money, and it touches base to what I said downstairs. I don't think guys can feel a certain way and get validation or sympathy from an external factor. We just kind of got to embed it and go through it alone, which you've had your fair share of, and I'm sure you have. And growing up, that's why it gave me that that the guys should wear the pants, the guys should lead. The girls can kind of, like we were talking about going out and stuff like that. Mom never went out. If you're in a relationship, I just don't agree with. I don't think you should be going out. I don't think you should be going to bars with the girls. I don't think you should be dolling up. I don't think you should be doing that. If you're in a happy relationship, take your man out. Take your man out. You can go to the bar. Take your man to the bar. You know what I mean? I don't know why you would go to a bar if you're in a happy relationship, but that's in and of itself, that's like Gen Z shit. But just very. Mom can, mom has cried. Dad's the. I have my mom's passion and my dad's work ethic. I say that all the time. So where my success and where it all kind of derived from is how can I be the best of both? Because I can't be too dad because we're not in a traditional world anymore, and we touched base on that. And I can't be too mom because I'm just a male. And again, when I say that, it's like very just in your ways, and like again, at the end of the day, dad's job in the house was to provide money, give us a roof over our head, made sure mom was happy, made sure his kids were fed, and it didn't matter how he felt. As plain and simple as that was, mom tried not to give him headaches.
Yeah.
Mom just really didn't do it. I mean, mom knew he was working 19 fucking hours a day.
Yeah, I was going to say, he doesn't just work like a 9 to 5 kind of thing. Like, there is no time after work.
No, and
you come home, eat,
and
go to
you're
sleep.
Tired, and and we're tired working regular jobs. I can only imagine the work he's doing.
Yeah.
I'll go off on that tangent in terms of like, because I can derive off of that, but I do want you to give your point on like how you grew up and stuff like that, because that, without going too deep into it, that was the layout, that was the structure of how I grew up.
Yeah, and it's funny because like we're all kind of more or less the same age, and I feel like everybody our age kind of had the same kind of parents, no matter where they came from. Like you, from China, from Greece, from Puerto Rico, they like. I feel like people in our age bracket just always saw dad as the man of the house, figuratively and literally, and mom as like the supporting role, which, I mean, I can say my mom was definitely more than just a supporter. She was working insane amount of hours as a teacher. And
while you were growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, so that's
Whole
where,
life.
okay, so that's where me and you differ then, because mom didn't work.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you. Did your parents kind of grow up the same way like him, or both your mom, dad work, and both had their own duties and stuff like that?
So, like, from my perspective, I don't think there was ever a case where the male or the female was working harder or doing more than the other person to provide for the family. So, like, my family, we're 100% Chinese. We're a huge family. Like, my mom is the youngest of 4 siblings. She had a 5th one. It died as a child. And then on my dad's side, he is the youngest of 3 siblings. So, my parents are both first generation American born, both in New York City. Their parents from China, one served in World War II, fighting for the United States. And, shortly after that, they all moved to the city shortly after the war. And that's where they began their lives. But, at the time, Chinese people were still heavily oppressed, especially in those areas growing up. So naturally, they had no money ever starting. They had to work very hard for everything that they did. And they had to work even harder because they were an oppressed people. So everything was always fighting against them. Like my dad would always tell me when he was going to his school in Queens, my grandmother would have to walk him to and back from school with a knife in her hand because that's like how bad it was back in the day. Jeez. And my mom, I don't think it was ever that bad, but like they grew up with super traditional values. Like you got to work hard because that's the only way you're going to make it in life. So like neither of my parents, they were, ever handed down anything. Everything that they have, they obviously definitely had to work hard for, and especially my grandparents. Like I give them a lot of credit
for sure. Me too.
For raising such huge families, making sure that they had money to go to school, get a good education, so that they can become successful and have a better life than my grandparents did. And I think it's true still that on my mom's side, my grandparents never took a single day of vacation in their whole life until they started having grandkids.
Jeez.
Because they ran a laundromat for basically their whole life.
You gotta be around.
And my grandma and grandpa worked in that business. They toiled in there like 7 days a week, basically. So it wasn't like my grandpa worked harder than my grandmother or vice versa. I think they worked equally hard to raise the family, and I think that's passed down to both my parents too.
Yeah.
I would say my parents are successful in the way, they went to school. They both have their doctorate degrees. My dad's a lawyer. My mom's a doctor. And basically all my aunts or uncles, too, are the same. They're like accountants, lawyers, doctors, whatever. But that was like the way they grew up is you have to grind. You got to work hard to get where you want to be. And I think that's been passed down to me and my brother, because when I was growing up, it wasn't like, hand you everything so that you don't have to do anything later on in life. It's like the whole love versus loyalty thing. It was a lot of tough love.
Yeah.
It was never like you come home, oh, have a great day, honey. Give me a hug, kiss you on the cheek, love you. Oh, you didn't do so good on this test, but it'll be all good. Like, you'll do better next time. It was like, you got to be on this exam. You got to do fucking better.
Why didn't you get a fucking A?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, we didn't raise you. We didn't work really this hard really for a life for you to get a B in school. Like, oh, you're crying? Suck it up.
Yeah.
You crying in bed is not going to help us, change the way and try to make you feel better for crying. Like, if you're crying, good, get it out.
Fix it,
right? So I kind of have, like, a lot of that instilled in me. So when I see people that, grew up differently from like Kristen, I want to say her family has they show a lot of affection. Mm-hmm. Like, every time we come over there, it's like, oh, love you, give me a hug, goodbye, things like that. But I don't think they had that tough love that I did. So I don't mean it in like a bad way. It's just different households, different ways of growing up.
Yeah.
But
grandma,
that's how I see it.
Now that you mentioned, my grandma has not worked a single day to this day in her life.
Your grandmother? That's
a
nice.
Single working day in her life.
Jeez.
That's what I grew up on.
Wow. That's interesting.
So that's why, I'm kind of going to stab back at you guys why I have the opinions the way I do. I was just taught, I think love has a really, really dear and near feeling to me. I think the word love is said way too much nowadays, first of all. You guys are in relationships, so you guys arguably only hear it from your significant others. But there's a lot of people saying it way too fast.
Yeah.
Way too fast. I don't know if the word holds any validity anymore nowadays. But the love that I know, when we were going back and forth on the love and loyalty concept of things, and why I don't believe now in unconditional love when I asked you about it on the last podcast, is because I mean, you can't, I don't know if you can say I love you to someone you've known for a year.
I tend to agree with that.
And it's why I said now today that love is only a feeling. And I don't know if love is enough just because of the way it's perceived nowadays.
Well, I get the whole the love isn't enough kind of thing because love doesn't pay the bills kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But not that that's the only thing that matters, but it
Because you do need it. You do need it.
Yeah,
for sure.
you do need it. And in order to be happy, you need to also be financially stable.
Agreed.
Which is like a huge thing, especially living in New York. If you don't have money to afford just to live here, how are you going to have money to enjoy being here?
Yeah, you're not going to love anything at that.
You're going to be
rate.
completely just working to survive, and that's not a fulfilling life.
It's a bad character, yeah.
And like that's what I was saying before, like with my mom and my dad. Like my dad was a state trooper at 21, and my mom was a teacher at I think 22. Like full time, both working full time by their.
And that's
like
impressive.
Barely
at the
out
age
of
they
their,
grew
in
up
their
yeah.
20s, and back then you would think that the women had less to do and the men were going
Right.
to work and blah like you
How
said.
we grew up, yep.
Right, but it's crazy because like my mom wasn't born here; she was born in Puerto Rico,
Okay.
and so was my grandmother. My grandmother was a fucking biologist. Like she is
That's
no slouch.
crazy.
Like she,
Your grandmother.
yes,
That's impressive.
right. But then you go to my dad's side, the American side.
Mhm.
My grandmother on my dad's side never really worked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because my mother's mother, who grew up in Puerto Rico, worked harder than probably anybody that I know to build a life here because there was necessity. Once you're here, you can make it if you work hard,
Right.
but you can also make it if you kind of just skate by because there's
Agreed.
people
That's
who will take care of you.
Exactly. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
If you have someone in the house who can take care of you, you can just you can cruise.
Mhm.
But when you're trying to get out of a country and move somewhere else,
It's a different grind.
you gotta fucking grind.
Yeah.
And that's my grandmother on my mom's side was a grinder, and she brought her family here. She brought three daughters here, and all of my mother was an insane worker. My aunt is an insane worker, and my other aunt, I don't really know. I don't have contact with her anymore. But from what I understood, that she worked pretty hard when she was growing up as
And
well.
they took after
and
her
they didn't
mother.
have an easy childhood. Like they all shared a bedroom. Like I mean, I shared a bedroom with my brother until I was like 15, 14.
Yep.
It's just
Even
it's
later
just
for me. Yep.
how we all grew up,
Yeah.
like because that's how our parents grew up.
Right.
And yeah, so it's interesting because I had like two both very hardworking parents, and it just like from a young age, from like 12, I was like, I gotta go get a job. I was like, because I want the Xbox games, I want the PlayStation
Yeah.
games, and
Yep.
my friends all got them
And I
whenever
couldn't
they
keep
came
up,
out
yeah.
because all their parents are wealthy white people, and when they wanted the new thing, they just got it.
Yeah.
Not that's not generalizing anything, but like all the people that I grew up with in the area that I grew up with are pretty well off.
Agreed. Yeah, I think you could say the same too. All of our friends, I think, minus us and maybe a select few in the bunch.
Yeah, like
They don't know what
I'm
a
not
dime-
saying I had a tough childhood by
Yeah.
any means. Like my parents provided for me very well,
no.
and they instilled in me that if you want something, go work for
You
it.
just got to get
I
it.
got my first job at 15, and I don't think I've been unemployed for more than 4 days since then.
Can't relate.
I think I had no job for in the interim from going to college to getting my HVAC job was like 4 or 5 days. That's like the most I've been unemployed in the last 15 years. So it was just always a thing that I grew up. I grew up wanting to go to work because I saw that when my dad went to work, those 16-hour shifts,
He led by example.
he was coming back and he was able to take us to sports time in Elmsford and go have a nice weekend because he got all that overtime money. And my mom, she was my transportation to school in the Bronx when she was teaching there. And I would stay with her after school. School let out at 2:30. I was there till 6 every day. So I was with her grading tests, helping her make
Yeah,
stuff
you
for
had
her
to wait
students.
until you worked on her
I
schedule.
was working
Yeah.
with my mom since I was a kid. So I was like, all right, this is just life. This is just what you got to do. You got to wake up and go to work, and you just got to get through it.
Yep.
And that's just how I grew up. Like always, I knew for a fact that I was just going to go to work. Like that was like the one thing that was always constant. Figuring out afterwards, like what you do with your money is a different story. But I always knew that I just like, all right, this is my destiny, really. And my plan was to be a police officer because I saw the way my dad, my dad's just like a freaking badass. Like he just carried himself really cool, and I wanted to be like my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I didn't go that route because now how cops are treated now. But it was just always a thing, like get up, go to work, and be a provider. Not necessarily because I'm a guy or a male, just because that's what I knew that my parents were doing for us. And my brother's the same way. My sister's kind of got it. She's getting into it now. She's just, she's in the real world now. She's the baby of the bunch, so she kind of got a little coddled. But my brother led by example. hopefully I'm leading by example for them, and arguably even my brother's learning a little bit from me, which is cool because you have a younger brother that can learn from you, and so do you. So
yeah. I mean, I think it's good that you learn the value of money, the value of hard work when you're young. Like when did you say you got your basically like your first job?
15,
and you probably
I was mom got her start at it was A&P at Rose Hill. I just the cashiers tipped me. I was 12 years old just to help them bag the groceries.
bagger boy.
Yeah.
I made $100 a week at
Yeah,
$12.
that's awesome.
I was financially independent at 12 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing, because I know a lot of people. Like I was born in Manhattan, and I was
Were you
reluctant.
really?
I was born in
I don't know.
Manhattan. Yeah,
No
my
way.
family was on 36 and First.
Oh,
So I went to public schools, and by 7 years old, I had moved to Armonk, Byram Hills. Completely different, like, culture
Yeah.
there. Like, everyone, like, most people in Armonk are, like, pretty damn wealthy.
yeah.
Like,
It
there's many people in my school that had parents that were making over $1 million
That's pretty crazy.
on an annual basis.
Still haven't
And
seen it.
they had a lot of money from, passed down from their families too.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of people that are, first generation wealthy, but I feel like a lot of the people that I grew up with never worked like any actual jobs until probably after college or during college.
So
That-
not like none of the high school like pizzeria, A&P,
Yeah, like
Dick's Sporting Goods.
people
stuff like
definitely
that.
work those jobs, but I feel like they kind of did it more so just to have something to do,
like a summer
not
job
because
kind
they
of thing.
had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
You think their parents made them go get a job, or that was their own choice?
I don't even know. I know some people that went to get a job because they wanted to pay for food and hobbies that their parents wouldn't, pay for.
Yeah.
But then there's other people that work because
They have to.
they have to, I would say, because, not everyone in Armonk is wealthy. And if they want to pay for a new laptop, pay for their phone, they had to go out and get a job because they're already probably taking, huge loans to just live in Armonk and to provide that lifestyle to their kids.
Mm-hmm.
But like me, I feel like I've been working since I was, I don't even know, 8, 9, 10 years old. Because like it wasn't like actual jobs, like working for other people, but it was like helping out with the family business. So my dad had me doing accounting and like Excel work
At that age?
at like 10 years old.
That's why
That's pretty
Asians are
awesome.
smart.
So I literally would sit there during the summer and taping receipts for business expenses into a binder. And then after
Cooking
the whole
books.
they
year
got the
was
golden nugget at age 9.
after the whole year was done, I would have to go and add every single fucking receipt into an Excel file
Jeez.
Your dad was
to
it.
calculate the and you know how much my dad
Yeah,
buys.
Yeah.
There's not a single day
That's a
in
lot of
his
receipts.
life where he
lot of
buys
space
something,
heaters.
where he doesn't buy something.
That Excel file was real.
The
long.
binder was like this thick every year. It was
That is
insane, and I hated that job. My dad loves animals too, so we had at the time he had like 100 rabbits. He had
What?
20 chickens
In Mamaroneck?
in
in
Armonk?
here in Armonk.
Oh my.
At his house
Yeah,
now.
I was out in the freezing cold. I was out there in the hot ass summers feeding these rabbits, changing their water.
That's crazy.
Going to Tractor Supply when I was 16 to go pick up rabbit and chicken feed. Like that's what I was doing when my friends were out like having like sleepovers and shit.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So like did I feel like less I don't even know the word.
Fortunate.
Less fortunate
I'm like, yeah.
than my peers? Yes, I did. I was like, why am I doing this shit? Like when my friends are out there like having parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was never really a popular kid either
Same.
until I started
same,
selling
really.
Beats by Dre.
You started selling beats.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I thought
You
he
were the
said
beat
until
plug?
I signed for Beats by Dre. I'm like,
Wait a
this
minute.
podcast is stopping right
No,
now.
I used to buy beats from Ggp.NY.
What is that?
What is?
It's a Chinese supply.
Tell
So
me
were
you
they
bought
legit beats?
knockoff and sold them for.
Yeah, they were legit.
Oh, they were legit.
That's how I made my money.
That's sick.
Oh my god.
Selling beats to my peers in school because they had the money to spend, and I saw an opportunity. And
That's why your dad put you in
that's
Armonk.
like that's why I want to talk about entrepreneurship, like because I
And we
feel like
will,
I've
we
had
will.
that like grind to how
Yeah.
do I make money more easily than just working a job at a store or something like that.
That's insane. I did not know
That is sick.
I got a lot of shit to
Do you
say.
ever sell sneaker? You ever a sneakerhead?
You would have made a lot of money selling sneakers.
I bought counterfeit sneakers to use, but never to sell.
Yeah, so there's like a huge stigma around sneakers.
Oh,
where if
you will
buy
get
the
excommunicated.
dude, but
You
it's
will
crazy
get
because
killed.
you know how much sneakers cost.
Oh, absolutely.
And so do you. You think you're walking around in $1,000 pair of sneakers?
My ex
No,
was.
I'm buying. Yeah. I'm buying the knockoffs and I'm beating them up.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to wear them,
I've
or
had a
unless,
few fake Yeezys
or
before.
unless you
And they're
got
just
it
as
like
good.
that to
No.
wear the real ones.
Even
but
if
like,
you do got it
I
like
always
that,
say
it's
I would
stupid.
never do that. Yeah, or at least I wouldn't daily them. Like, cause I have one pair of Amiris.
Of dress shoes.
Yeah, but like I wear them to a function.
That's
I'm not showing up to the gym and
You should. Yo,
that'd be insane.
deadlift in some freaking
That'd be sick.
Armani's or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
me-
that was
you
my
said
nickname.
Armani.
I don't know. What do you have?
Amiris.
It's sure.
That's
I
crazy.
knew a girl named that. Before.
But yeah, guess what my nickname was in high school? Guess what I was known for?
Beats.
Yes, it contains that word.
It does?
Yes.
Oh, wait, hold on. Is it like a rapper name?
It has my name with.
Oh,
Beats.
wait.
Something Beats?
Yeah.
Something beats.
Did you have a weird nickname? Like not Greggy or something?
No, so people called me. I would be walking in the hallways and people would be like, "Yo, Greg Lee, fake beat."
Oh my God, that's crazy.
that was my reputation in high school.
That's
Greg Lee
sick.
Fake Beats.
I got suspended
As they were wearing
What?
it.
For what?
for selling hookah pens with no nicotine. And the only reason I got caught,
Stipend the hookah.
The little colorful ones with the button that
yes,
would glow.
no,
Yo.
no button. It functioned on vacuum.
I loved
So,
those when I was growing up.
They were like $4 each.
Did you buy
I
one
buy
from
them
them?
wholesale.
I
Some
might
for
have
like
bought one from
$15 each. The only reason I got caught and I got picked out of classroom by the principal because one kid got caught doing it in the bathroom and he snitched.
Dude,
We love them.
rip.
We
He
love
snitched
the
on
snitches.
me.
That sucks.
We love the snitches.
Only snitches in our monk.
Yeah. There was a couple people that would sell those at school, but like nothing ever happened.
I don't know
about it.
if they did that wave over here in Mount,
Hookah pens?
in Mount Vernon for sure. Over
Yo,
here, no.
all I wanted to do was smoke tricks.
But they had no nicotine.
So here,
Yeah.
Oh,
I still
yeah,
get the
I
ones with
People
no
just
nicotine.
like to do it because they
Yeah.
'Cause they
I
look
wanted to
cool,
look
dude.
cool, yeah.
I looked sick. blowing O's in the band room.
I never knew how to. I never know how to.
That's
blow
that's the only reason I wanted one because I was like,
Yeah, I never did. Yeah, it was all from the throat. It was a throat action.
I like
you know
both.
all about that throat action.
See, that's unbelievable. You would think I do. Oh
Oh
God.
gosh, that's funny, man. Freaking fake beats and hookah pens. That's how you got your start.
And outer boxes.
Oh,
Yeah, actually, no,
Otterboxes are
out of boxes.
bread.
Yeah, because they were always
For the
expensive.
iPhone
Life
4?
proofs.
Yeah.
Life proof.
they had those back then.
But I stopped because they would actually not work that well.
Oh yeah, you go. Put it underwater for
Yeah,
broken
you
iPhone.
see,
Swear
some
it's gonna hold.
condensation.
Broken iPhone.
My phone's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing I did when I bought an OtterBox and it wasn't waterproof.
I've never. It is just so ugly.
They're so fat.
God.
Yeah.
I don't even want a phone at that rate. It's like a fucking Nextel. Man, you threw the Nextels at the wall. The fucking wall broke.
Yeah, so I don't know. I
Did
feel
you
like
did you ever English? Did you ever do a
Lemonade?
lemonade stand when you were a kid?
No, I regret
Never.
not doing one.
Yo,
I regret
in this
not
area,
doing one.
you could definitely do
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I wouldn't have to work. In this area.
I've never done that.
Watermelon juice?
No.
No, I think I did once,
But
it
I think
wasn't
I've
mine.
only seen two growing
Yeah,
up.
it wasn't mine. I
Yeah.
helped somebody do it.
So fake entrepreneur over here.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not.
I feel like I've
about it. I
never
just got
seen a
regular jobs.
lemonade stand in like my area.
Last time I saw one was in LBI,
Yes.
and
that kid.
that one kid.
Oh yeah.
How much
Oh
was it?
shit.
It was like $1.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Or something?
And we give him like 5 or
I
something.
gave him like $5.
Yeah, you were
I was like,
keep
yeah,
it,
good job. I was like, terrible lemonade.
Yeah.
And it was like this big. I was like,
It was
damn,
like-
yo, economy's freaking.
It was like this.
like
It was like the
Kool-Aid.
Dixie cup that was like this big. Yeah.
it was
the clear ones.
the
yeah.
powdered,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
dude. If I
Cool.
Tang stand, remember Tang?
Tang.
No.
Tang, the orange drink.
No. Why don't I?
You
know
don't know
that?
Tang?
No.
I know Fanta.
Oh my God, Tang the monkey.
I'm more upset that he
What?
said. Fan.
Yo.
I'm more upset that he said Fanta and not Fanta.
Yeah, right. I was gonna let it slide.
Fanta.
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 It's
Fanta?
Wana Fanta.
Fanta.
Is it Fanta?
Fanta.
Yes. Listen to the song.
My whole life I've been saying Fanta.
Did they say Wana Fanta?
So you say pasta
It's
or
Wana
pasta?
Fanta.
Chris
Don't
said-
you wanna?
Chris says
Fanta?
Yeah, it's Fanta.
Really? Learn something new every day.
Well, you also know what
I also-
Tang is now.
I also
So I'm gonna
didn't
get a
know.
Fanta after this.
I didn't know it was
I hate you.
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels, yeah.
Brussels
Brussels
sprouts?
sprouts.
Yeah, I thought it was
Not
Brussels.
Brussels sprouts?
No, it's Brussels. And you're the one that eats them. Ain't that some shit?
You learn
Yeah.
2 things new every day.
A lot of things today.
Shit.
Today's an educational day.
That's
That
fucked.
is good.
That's fucked. So
So-
yeah, really back.
Yeah, entrepreneur at 8, selling shit, and working with your father like mad young.
Since forever.
Yeah.
Still am, honestly, even when he needs help.
Yeah, true.
I feel like that's the only way to really become
I just didn't
make it.
I just didn't
I mean,
believe
yeah.
to just
like,
do multiple things.
so the,
Well, you know what's cool though about the both of you is that your parents both had their own businesses.
My mom didn't have her own business, but her parents, ran the laundromat,
But they owned
and
the
she
laundromat?
worked in the laundromat.
So like it's a family company.
so like
Yeah.
did she inherit it after? Or
No, I think they sold it after
Fuck
they
her.
started having kids.
yeah, right. Yeah, she fucking got rid of it.
Yeah.
No, I think that's cool because like that, it forces you to become basically an employee when you're way too young to be
So
working. But
he-
it gives you good things. You think good things come out of it.
You learn a lot.
Yeah, and like if you never had to do that stuff for your dad, would you have ever done that? You think? Like
Probably not. And I still do it to today,
Right.
just more efficiently.
yeah.
QuickBooks instead of taping shit to a binder.
right.
Well, yeah, that's far gone.
We're in a digital world now. Everything's with a credit card.
That's true. A lot more. It's a lot easier to buy stuff.
Yes. There's a lot of Amazon packages at the house
Does your
today.
dad drop ship? That's a dead serious question.
So my dad is like the king of making negative profits
Okay, that's not
On-
where I was expecting that comment to
on
go.
anything he does. Just like the patio heaters, bought them all, 33 units at $150 a pop, sold them for $100 each.
I mean,
He never sold a single one himself either,
that's.
That's unbelievable. Yeah,
I
you
sold
sold them. Yeah, unbelievable.
Did you pocket
at
it,
his loss,
or you gave it to him?
with a commission to me.
Yeah.
So he lost like 3 times.
Yeah, he
He
lost.
lost 50% on each
Oh
one.
my god.
Damn.
I need your dad to
But
coach me.
he just buys
I'll
shit.
sell stuff for your dad.
He doesn't
Thanks.
he doesn't think
That's-
things through.
that's it, just
He's
period.
very impulsive.
Mm.
Yeah.
I can say I'm pretty impulsive, but like now it's like I gotta at least see some sort of return
Yeah.
before I buy.
It's
something.
definitely some to you because we look at you in the chat as impulsive.
I'm pretty
Like
impulsive.
in purchases. Because you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, what do you have? And then you would like, when Will was asking about the mics and you pulled out like a drawer of
Oh, yeah,
fucking
you were like,
camera
oh, you need
equipment.
this.
I was like, I didn't even know you had
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of shit that for my cars at least I
It's just
get
so much
at
dad Greg.
wholesale. But like if I had never had a wholesale account, would I be buying the same amount of car parts?
Yeah.
Probably.
So
not.
that's where your
Yeah.
learning curve was. You were like, if I'm gonna buy
See,
shit, let
that's
me just
that's
do
my
it.
problem. When it's something's a good deal, you gotta buy it.
Oh, we talked about that before. I hate
chicken
that.
nuggets.
I hate that. The chicken nugget thing and the stupid sales at the stores.
Chicken nuggets.
Just because it's on sale doesn't mean you gotta
Do you
buy it.
overbuy because things are
No, I
cheap
don't.
or on sale?
No, when I
To
get a
a
sale,
point, yes.
no.
So if toothpaste,
If it's something you need,
no, actually, well, you need toothpaste. Okay.
But still, okay, well, you can say toothpaste though.
all right.
Are you buying 9 tubes of toothpaste when you need one
Yeah.
because they're on sale? Or
So
are you
if
just
it's
gonna buy like
if it's
2?
buy 2 get 1 free, but you only need 1 toothpaste, are you buying 2 to get the third one?
Okay,
free?
well,
Yes.
I'm buying 2.
really?
Yeah, I'm buying 2. You're getting 3 for the
well,
price.
I
Yeah.
usually only shop at Costco and BJ's, so everything is always.
Well, that's
in
why I said
multiple.
toothpaste is a
Yeah.
bad example because like I'm
Like, I
trying
would
to think
never
of
buy
something you don't
toothpaste
really
from a
need.
CVS.
Well, also
unless
that
I had
the
to.
2 for 1 thing is a buy no matter what
Really?
it is,
Okay.
unless it's a freaking house.
All right, let's say it's buy 2 get 1 free,
That's the
or
one
buy
I'm doing.
4 get 2 free. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I want 5 or 6,
Yeah.
6 of them.
but I'll buy 2 and get
Okay.
one.
Yeah,
Alright,
There's
so
a
maybe that was a bad
certain
example.
point
buy
where,
1
like,
get 1 and buy 2 get
diminishing
1
returns.
Are always
green
okay,
lights.
All right. Okay.
But like when you buy 3 get 1 50% off,
Yeah, that's
or like even buy 1 get 1 half off.
yeah.
You don't need.
I
that.
just don't need the second one yet. If it's not free, I'm not even looking at the tab.
That's
honestly.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
So
even,
like even
that's
or,
why I said
or
free.
even when the item is just on sale,
Yeah,
plain
it's
up
not-
like straight up sale, and it's like maybe it's say it's an $8 item and it's on sale for $7.25 or $7. You gonna buy 3 of them now?
Let's
No.
not even talk about sales. Sales are a big hoax.
Sales are a massive hoax
I
because
don't know
those
if people
prices go up
understand
the
that.
day before they go on sale.
Because
Hope
it'd be
you
like
know.
288, and then you go in, and then the 288 is it's a 388 that's
Yeah, yeah.
crossed out. And they're like, oh, it's actually 249.
Yeah,
People don't
Yeah.
look at that shit.
I
People don't
seen
look
it.
at that shit.
I seen it.
Well,
But shopping sales is just a bad idea. But your dad is a pro at it.
my dad is a
He's also a pro
my
at
dad's
buying
a hoarder.
retail,
He is a big pro at buying retail.
which is crazy.
I can't wait to get this program.
He loves Best Buy. paying overpriced.
Best Buy?
Yeah.
Oh my god, so
That's
much
the worst place
what
to
the
buy
fuck?
something.
Well, it's convenient.
Is it?
He goes in, comes out with it. Doesn't have to
I
wait 2
guess.
days, 3 days. But he's the king of shopping.
Your
I
dad
need,
must-
to, I need to spend a day with him.
I think your dad had to. I don't think your dad had a choice. He had to make money.
Yeah.
Like I don't think your
He's been a
dad.
hoarder since he was a
He
kid.
doesn't have a
That's
choice.
crazy.
He's just spending
but
so
how-
much.
no, but like
He
seriously though, where do you think that stems from?
Did his father or
Hoarding?
parents? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a Chinese thing, to be honest.
Is it like growing up? Do you know like his situation growing up with his parents?
Oh,
Like,
I love to talk about this.
Oh,
let's
God.
go.
I gotta pee though. But yes,
Gotta pee?
What?
I gotta pee.
You gotta pee?
Yeah.
You peed before we started.
And I pooped before I started.
You don't pee while you poop?
That
Every
time I
poo
didn't have
time
to.
is a pee pee time.
Yeah,
Every
but
pee
not
time,
every
not
pee.
a-
Yeah,
not
not every
every
pee.
time.
All right, but yeah, the hoarding situation.
Pee pee poo poo.
He's like extreme hoarding though.
Yeah, he is.
Like he has to have multiple of everything.
It blows my mind when you. Move
I
your
wish
car
my
for
dad
one
was
day.
a car guy. Like I'd be,
I'd be
so fucking
so
happy.
If you liked wheels, get him to like wheels.
Oh,
Yeah.
unless they were like shit boxes.
I would still
Well,
say
I'll
Still
80
better
shitty
than,
Civics.
I don't know.
I'll take him. You got a
But-
field of Miatas.
But yeah, like I don't know. I think it's an insecurity maybe.
You think?
About
That, like
what?
it makes him happy, or
Having
it,
things?
or like diminishes like sadness or something. To,
Oh,
That
like,
I
to
I have a
buy
question.
stuff.
That I guess.
Does he like when the house is clean?
The house.
does he
has
like
never
living
been
in
clean.
chaos?
He loves chaos.
Yeah. I
Like
feel
the-
like that's probably a
So
thing too.
chaotic where like you can't even walk through certain doorways because they're piled up in
That's
stuff.
That's
unbelievable.
wild.
That's crazy.
And like to walk anywhere in that house, you have to like look down and like look at your path.
You need a map,
You
a
need
tour guide.
It's like crossing stones in.
So
a
you know
pond.
how like you can
No
navigate.
way.
You know how you can navigate your room with the lights off. There's no shot you're doing that in your father's house.
No.
You try to do it,
You're gonna,
everything
you're gonna hit like a
falls over.
squirrel. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So like he
Step on a car.
hoards.
grandpa's
a lot.
gonna be under the bed.
He hoards a lot. My aunt and uncles, they're kind of hoarders on both sides of the family. So it's not just like my dad's side, but
It's probably a gene that you have.
I don't know. I think it
Gene
might be in
deficiency.
part that like my grandparents, since they didn't grow up like with money and stuff, that everything was of value. So like even like the shopping bags from the store, the plastic
Yeah,
bags,
10
like they
cents.
would
Oh, we did that.
they
Yeah,
would
we can't do
keep
it anymore. There's
those,
no more.
Yeah, true.
keep them by the door, and they would be
the
like
pantry, yep.
sky high
It's
piles
one bag that stuffs
of
them all.
Yeah.
plastic bags.
Or you get the long tube.
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that
yup,
sucks
yup,
them all
yeah.
up.
Yeah, like they loved collecting every little thing because it's worth money.
I totally understand
sort of
collecting
money.
stuff, but going out and buying stuff just to
That
have
I
it sitting
think
around.
is an insecurity where he needs to, in order to feel happy, he has to buy,
So having things makes him feel good.
even if you don't need it.
So like
that's
having
like his
8 patio heaters in the back and
validating.
like 9 grills under a cover is like, yeah, I got 9 grills back
Well,
there.
that's a little bit different because
He's a
he buys so much that he forgets what he has.
Oh gosh.
So then he goes out and buys
Imagine
it
having
again.
that problem.
that's wild.
And there was a time when he lost one of his Galaxy phones.
Uh-huh.
It was at the bottom of a shopping bag with more shit that he bought from the phone store. So instead of looking for the phone, he went out and bought another one.
That's unbelievable. That's
What about the
crazy.
food? Like the shop, like food
the
shopping.
food is the worst part. He
He needs
goes
all that?
grocery shopping almost every day. During COVID, he would come back with like 4 shopping carts load of shit from the grocery store because he thought the world was ending.
Okay, well that
Oh,
I
okay,
get.
alright, well,
I
that was
understand
okay,
a little
yeah.
bit.
But he still does that.
How much toilet paper does
Right.
he have?
oh my gosh, toilet
Your
paper.
dad was the reason I couldn't get toilet paper.
He actually
Yeah.
might have been. Does he still have like a closet?
Tell me
full
he
of-
bought a house just to store toilet paper.
He never buys like essential stuff though.
like
he only
Because he
buys
bought
like,
them all.
He buys like junk.
like junk food,
Like my mom will be the one who buys stuff that we actually need. He goes out and buys the stuff that
like Pop Tarts.
he wants, like
so
junk.
weird.
Like the,
My dad has
whatever,
never
like high
stepped-
chews.
the high
Yeah.
chews, the Mallomars, all the cookies, the
My
candies,
dad's
the
never
chicken and the
stepped foot inside a
biscuits,
grocery store.
all the processed stuff. He
That's
loves
insane.
that.
So is he a snacker?
Hungry Man, he absolutely.
Really?
TV dinners.
Yo,
Yeah.
Hungry Man. No, they slap.
The brownies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Salisbury
that dry
steak.
ass. Yeah.
Oh, yo.
But when he goes to Stu Leonard's, I'll be there. I like that.
Oh
That's
yeah,
crazy.
He
absolutely.
gets the good stuff there.
Get
'Cause
the
everything
actual-
there is
Get the
pretty good.
organic nut butter. and the other
Oh.
stuff.
But yeah, I don't know where it stems from.
What does your
And-
mom feel
and It's
about it?
only gotten worse.
Does she hate it?
She hates it, but here's the thing. This goes on to like, the lovers' loyalty thing about how they
That's just his thing.
live with each other.
Yeah.
And that's been the thing as long as they've been together.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
It's always
this
like
is it.
my
This
mom
is
will
it.
say the same thing over and over again.
Well, wait, hold on. Does your mom speak up in terms of it bothering her? Or she just doesn't
speaks
care?
up, but she still succumbs, I guess is the right word.
like you're not going to change him, so you might as well just deal with it.
Yeah,
kind
like
of thing.
he's a not. Everyone I've told about this, like they're like, "Oh, give him another chance." Blah blah blah. I'm like, it's never happening.
Mhm.
He is a person you cannot change, especially now at 60.
Has he
something years old.
tried to?
He doesn't try.
Mm.
So
he
you're not
may
going to change
think-
if you don't
Yeah, I
want
was going
to.
to say, yeah.
He may think he's trying, but then he'll give up.
He's like, I didn't buy 9 space heaters. I bought 7.
Yeah.
I couldn't fit 9, so I got 7.
But it's gotten worse ever since my brother and I don't live there anymore.
Well, now he's got more space.
He's got more space, so he has to fill it.
Yeah.
think that's
This
crazy.
room, if he saw this, he'd be like,
Unbelievable. I wouldn't let him up here.
I got to go shopping.
So that's why I asked if he likes like a clean house.
No.
Like,
I guess that
no.
answers your question.
Yeah, I guess
He likes
doesn't.
it clean so he can put stuff in it.
But
As soon
blank
as you
canvas.
clear a spot,
gotta put
it gets filled. Like the garage.
Yeah,
I
the
keep the
garage is
GTR in their garage specifically so he doesn't fill it up with stuff. And that's why every time I got to get the car out, I got to move a million things to get it out.
Fuck, there's a quote that would fit your father
And then he gets
perfectly.
pissed when I leave it out. And he's like, oh, it's raining. Why don't you put a tarp on? I'm like, you put a tarp over everything.
It's such a crazy thing.
He is insane.
It's like kind of cool
It's
though. 'cause,
made growing up really fucking sad.
yeah.
Not for me and not for just me. Like my brother hates it. My mom obviously hates it.
Sleeping with a microwave.
We've had chickens living in the basement
That's
before. We've had
insane.
rabbits in
Yo.
the basement before. It fucking smells.
in the house. That's insane.
Dude, it's bad.
Damn.
But like, this is what like the whole thing with my mom is like, he'll come home with like a million bags of food, and he'll be like, "We don't have any more room in the fridge. You know, if he keeps doing this, I'm just gonna leave all the food out." Or he never cleans the plates, so I'm just gonna make him clean it. And then she just does it anyway.
So like little hissy fits.
Like,
Yeah.
She'll
Yeah.
say stuff, but she'll never do it when
Yeah.
it comes to him. It's always like, I gotta please my dad, or yes, please him, make him happy. She does everything for him, cooks all the meals, brings it up to him when he's in bed,
Yeah.
does
That's
all
sick.
his laundry, drives him places because he can't drive on the highway anymore.
Why is that?
I don't know. He just has like a instant fear as of like,
Oh, he's got like a phobia thing.
he's got like a phobia of driving fast or on highways ever since like 2010.
Whoa.
just
It just like randomly came home and was like, I can't drive on highways anymore.
he has like anxiety or
Insane.
something. Or
I guess
do you think his buying is like an anxiety coping thing?
it could be.
But I mean, he would need to have had this forever then,
Yeah, he's been hoarding since he was a kid. I'm
and
pretty
that was
sure.
just his coping mechanism.
Like his bedroom as a kid, I'm pretty sure was boxes full of crap.
Damn. It's like it's a really interesting way to cope with like I'm just gonna say anxiety because I don't know what else to call it,
Mhm.
but like a shopaholicism.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is, but
It's something.
it's bad.
It is a coping mechanism here, nonetheless. I mean, good or bad,
That's
is.
just like it's an interesting like
That's like
it's an inkling,
psychological shit.
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like I need to buy
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Like,
that's crazy.
I've never had that urge
Because
So
I
just
hate,
don't know what it's like.
because I hate the whole having money. I hate having money in my account. If that makes any sense. Like I hate.
I love having money.
No,
in my
no.
account.
I need to know like it's doing something.
Oh no, I love.
Yeah,
having
no.
money
I
in
don't
my
think I have a dollar.
If I don't put money in my savings account, I feel like I have nothing.
Really, I'm the opposite. I don't leave money in my savings.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Don't leave
no.
money in my savings. I have.
What's your
oh
own
my
shit
God.
fund?
Yeah, we just have to be get rid of stuff like immediately.
Yeah, no.
There is no
no.
ocean.
like I gotta sell like my wheels or something.
Wait till you get a house because
Yeah,
that
right.
oh shit fund is a
Yeah.
necessity.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of like that
What?
in that sense of like
Not having savings.
I have too much like liquid cash. Like I gotta do something with it.
Yeah, I just feel like it's not doing
With
anything for
cars
me.
usually,
Yeah.
like if I like that's why I bought the GTR. Like that was kind of impulsive, and now I have like kind of regret it.
You just had 55 grand just laying around.
Yeah, because I had sold.
Can't relate.
Oh yeah, you sold the
something.
Supra, no?
You sold
The
something.
fuck did I sell?
No, that's old Type R. I know the old Type R. What were your last cars before?
Oh,
the
I
GTR?
sold the 911.
Oh yes,
Oh,
yeah, the white
I
one.
sold that,
Or the
and then I was gonna buy
yeah.
that stupid McLaren that the guy like told me,
Oh, yeah, the
oh,
guy's
you
like, it's
know,
not
the car's
working.
broken. I'll just refund you. So at that point, I was like, I need to buy something. Like, I can't go this long without.
That's a different story because you had a car in mind that you were going to buy. It fell through, so you started looking for something else.
And then the itch got so bad that it was just like, all right, this looks cool.
Yeah.
You're
So
definitely
I guess
your
I kind
father's
of have
son.
some
Yep,
of that.
Definitely your father's son.
I guess I have a little bit of that.
I
too.
have a little bit of that. I need to buy something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of itch.
I guess you can argue that with the cars too. I mean, what, 60 plus cars?
Yeah.
Definitely. But you have it under control, like where you've used it to your benefit. If that's the
try
correct term.
to.
Yeah, is that?
I
'cause
used to
I was
not.
gonna say you've probably taken some L's. So, but I mean that's part of the process.
I think I took L's on the first 30.
Yeah, I mean, but I was
Jesus.
gonna say like you have to like learn and But now in my opinion, you're probably one of the best salesmen I know.
I try.
Yeah, you're very take it from for whatever even working in a corporate structure, I was a sales associate. Life as a whole, I feel like is sales anyway. So, but you're super good. You're well.
Do that thing. Sell me this pen.
Yeah. You're very right. You're very just like you know how to sell it without actively selling it. If that's how I can, you know how to make someone want it before you sell it. If that makes sense, you know how to like make them want to use it or like whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely got to know what you're selling. I feel like.
You also always have cool shit to sell.
That's it.
It's not like you're selling socks
Yeah, you're
to
not
somebody.
selling like water bottles.
Yeah.
So-
But I did do a vending stand where water bottles was the only thing I sold at one point.
a vending stand.
Yeah, like a vendor booth at like a car show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I probably did like 4 of those, and then the first 2 were complete dubs.
Yeah.
The second 2 were great though.
Just selling water bottles.
No. Like I had like car parts, kinda, like just like little shit, and I kind of got like. It was like first vendor show at some place in White Plains. It was like a muscle car show. It wasn't really a great show to be selling kind of like JDM stuff at.
Okay. Was it
But-
like a swap meet kind of thing?
No,
Or
it was just
a
like,
show?
it was like I think it was a car show in like memory of someone who had passed away recently.
That's a bad time to sell stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was vendor booths. Like there was other people selling like jewelry. There was guys selling shoes. Like it was like a very diverse
Yeah.
vending
Raffles. Who
session.
wants
The
this car?
smoothie bar.
So that one was not great. So the second one was a swap meet
That's the
in
best.
Pennsylvania.
Those are cool.
It
actually.
was
so
a
sick.
Volkswagen Audi swap meet, and I had a JDM booth there. The first hour completely sucked. I was like, damn it, we're not going to sell a fucking thing. As soon as 10 o'clock came around, we had a line for like those little JDM wallets, the keychains, the backpacks, like everything was selling out. And I was stupid happy.
Dang.
So, I don't know. Sometimes it hit or miss.
Yeah, I mean,
You just gotta like a lot of things I've bought in the past like never sold, and you just take an L on that.
yeah.
And some things pop off. Like you can ask me, what's the most interesting thing I've sold? Like remember those fidget cubes and fidget spinners?
Yeah.
I used
Holy
to sell
fuck.
those
Really?
back in college.
They
I
only
sold
had one.
Yeti cups.
Yeti's a
Yeti's
huge
are-
thing.
What else?
You have to wait like 4
So you got to
weeks.
ride trends a little bit. Like,
yeah,
you got to see what's hot.
sell trendy shit.
Yeah.
Trend. I need trend.
For sure.
And
the
I
beats.
feel like in order to be a good salesman, you also have to like buy a lot of stuff because
Yeah.
like you need to know what people are buying.
Yeah.
So I can just go to your dad's house and be like, "What did he get this week?" And then just start selling that item.
See, he doesn't know what's trendy. That's the thing. He thinks it's trendy.
He just walks into
That's
Home
like, I
Depot and
am
is
the
like,
trend.
"Yo, that looks nice."
I am the trend.
but if it's free, it's good.
Oh,
He
obviously.
went to Raymore and Flanagan today just to pick up a 3-level like cookie tray
Because why?
because it was free.
It's free.
Raymore said
Free
it's
with
free.
purchase or just free?
No, if you just went in there to look at furniture, I think they were giving away like free cookie trays.
All right. Well, I would.
How
go
would
do
you
that.
even know that?
Not without cookies. Just the tray.
newspaper clippings? Is he a newspaper guy?
Used to be.
Yeah.
He bought 1,000, not 1,000, but like
He probably. I wouldn't surprise me.
piles of when Obama got inaugurated as president.
Yeah.
It was
POTUS.
like on the newspaper front page.
POTUS?
He bought stacks of those newspapers.
To sell them or
No, just to like, oh, maybe they'll be worth money.
to sell them then?
Yeah, because first African American president. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is history. I got to buy a ton of them. He
I
made
mean-
the newspaper guy's day,
Yeah.
and they sat in the family room until they got all gross and covered in mice shit. So we had to throw them all out.
Oh,
That's
well,
amazing.
that's unfortunate because they
That's-
probably would have been worth.
They probably
something.
would have been if he actually took care of it.
Yeah. Like, is he a comic book guy at all?
No,
No.
That would have been sick.
Dude, that's the best thing to get
He would have
involved
some
in,
sick-
or like baseball cards.
he did buy those, but he didn't know what he was buying.
Yeah.
He's bought a lot of photography equipment that he never used.
Those are cool though.
Road
He has
mics.
like a 400 millimeter lens just
That's
sitting in a box.
expensive. From what?
Is it Canon?
Yes.
Damn it.
No. Nikon.
Yeah, I'll say
Oh,
probably.
really?
He was a Nikon guy
Yeah.
and Polaroid.
Polaroid's
A lot of
Polaroid's
film,
cool.
but I don't know. He buys everything.
That's really interesting. Is he into any sports at all? Like bowling or
Baseball.
dad sports?
He doesn't play sports, but he likes baseball and football. Big Yankees fan.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He used to work at Yankee Stadium.
Doing what?
He was like an engineer or something like that, project manager.
So what? Yeah, I was gonna. What did your dad do? Like he's full time real estate now, or
So he has his real estate
I don't know.
investments.
I don't even know.
But he was a lawyer, starting as a lawyer in mostly construction management. Yeah, construction management, like contracts lawyer. And then he became a project manager, certified for that. So then he did a lot of legal and like project management stuff for like big engineering firms. And now he does mostly real estate.
So he's like pretty freaking smart on the computer and everything.
He is very book smart, for sure. Like when he speaks about certain topics, very knowledgeable.
Huh.
He's like a
I've never talked to him, so I don't know. Like,
He's an
Yeah.
Audible, yeah.
He's a very enthusiastic, very overzealous person.
really?
Like he becomes friends with everyone. Like
Dude.
he is a full-on extrovert, where I was like
for sure.
pretty introverted and
almost
still
crazy.
am.
He almost sold me the business that I didn't even want.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what? I was like, I
if
just
you
want
look
to
at
work with
if
your
you look
dad.
at his Instagram,
Yeah.
like you will not.
I just want to work with your
It's
dad.
crazy.
Like,
He is out there doing something different and new every day. So that I
Wow.
admire about him, because like he's not just like a sit-at-home kind of person. Like he's always
there's
out
nowhere
there.
to sit. That's why. So
He has his office chair. The 7-seater Sienna only fits one.
That's
I need
the
a
office
family
share.
car. How big's your family? My kids are all grown up.
Yeah. They're gone. Ask them. I don't know. Your dad, in my mind, is the complete opposite of what you're telling me he is, which is like so funny to me. I don't know why.
When
I had
you
this-
meet him, he is a different person than the person that I know as a dad.
Okay, yeah.
Like he plays like a 2-part life. It's crazy.
As soon as the
His
guest
alter
leave,
ego.
get the fuck.
He is like that. Like he'll be screaming at all of us in the car, and then he'll be like, "Hey,
That's
how's it going? It's
crazy.
great to meet
That's
you,
insane.
Calvin. I like to sell you some houses."
Oh,
is
he's a
insane.
salesman. Yeah, he can flip the switch.
That is insane.
yeah.
That's cool. Like, I don't know why I had this idea that he was just like not like a grumpy old dude, but like just like super quiet to himself, likes doing his doodads at his home.
Yeah, like before I really, verbally met him, because I haven't physically seen him. I was expecting like a very like, when I was getting on the phone call with him, like the yelling at Greg like for wasting my time because this is fucking crazy expensive of a deal, and then he was like, because when he mentioned the rules because the building that we were gonna attempting to get in Elmsford, the one across the street from Audi,
PP time?
yeah, he was like, no anymore,
No, not anymore.
then PP time. We were like, he taught us the rule that like the landlord can charge you his like like whatever it was. It was like a rule that me and Greg were unfamiliar with.
Triple net.
And he started explaining it as if like I was going to a seminar, and I'm like, I remember I was I worked a regular job at the time, and I stepped outside on the phone call, and I'm just like listening to it, and I just remember picking up the phone, and I don't know. Again, I thought a grumpy old Asian, like my son's wasting his fucking time, just like no validity, just pure emotion, and he was just like, well, yeah, the business owner can technically do triple net, and he's like, I can show you how if you got the. I'm just like,
Wait a minute, who am I talking to?
yeah, like I'm like, he's like, is John on the other line? Like he set up the 3-way and everything. I'm like, who am I
Dang.
talking to? Robert Kiyosaki?
But even if he wastes his time, he still likes it.
He
I
likes
guess
doing
that's the
the-
Because
that's the
it's something
natural.
he enjoys
That's the extrovert
talking
energy
about.
coming out. That's,
Okay, yeah, so that's his thing.
that's the
Like it's like if a kid came up to me at wasting my time about like buying car parts, like I'll be enthusiastic and be like, I'd love to talk all day about it. Like at the end
You
of the
would
day,
dabble
he
with
didn't get
it
to buy
'cause
shit from me
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he wasted my time about something I don't care about.
right.
Right.
That's what I was talking
But
about.
yeah, you
that
guys gotta
patience
meet
last
him
time.
one day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should go out to
He's,
freaking dinner or something.
That's what I'm saying.
He sounds
my-
like a riot, honestly.
He's on the
like-
next podcast, honestly.
That podcast would go forever.
That's crazy. I would just talk about his hoarding issue. Just one topic for him, not three. Just one.
yeah, because we got on the phone
Be
with
like, why are you getting this? And then I just would
Why?
never say another. I'd be like, why are you buying this? And there's not saying another word the whole podcast.
yeah, when we got on the phone with Evie's friend because he was looking to do 1031 exchanges on properties, which is like if you sell something, you have to buy something else equivalent of value, or else you're subject to capital gains taxes. So I maybe said like 10 words that whole phone call that was 45 minutes, and my dad ranted the whole time. But it was educational. I learned a lot. The client learned a lot.
I honestly would.
Was
love
the guy
to talk
ready
to
to
your
buy
dad.
something? Absolutely not. But
Yeah, when he called,
was
I
great.
didn't say. I introduced myself, and that was it. I didn't say
This
a
is
word.
John.
I didn't say a
Go
fucking
ahead.
word. I didn't say a
So-
word.
yeah,
No, wealth of knowledge, at least in that field.
definitely
wh-
wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, when you're in that space, when you're consuming that space and you don't know what the fuck to say, just shut the fuck up. 'Cause
And listen, yeah.
There's nothing I know that he doesn't. And even at the time you knew more than me. So like I quite literally introduced myself, and then when your dad stopped talking, you had the question. And I remember writing outside, like I remember grabbing stuff and I was just like, I don't know this shit.
Yeah.
That stuff is like I was telling you before. They just built a new house at the bottom of my street.
I can't wait to see
Dude,
it.
I freaking want that house, man.
I can't wait to see that.
I want that house. I'm actually gonna freaking actually look into what they're asking for it, and then see what I can get for mine. Because Kelsey likes it. I love it.
The new one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I told her, I was like,
is it bigger?
he's way
Oh,
bigger. Yeah, and it's
And then the
it's
corner house.
brand new.
Yeah,
like
no, yeah, that's
like
gonna be cool.
2023
You
brand
literally
new.
wouldn't have to touch anything.
It was gonna be so much money, but
Yeah. But I mean to go in and like, yeah, that'd be cool.
if I can use what I have to go in,
Yeah.
it's worth it. Because I told her, I was like, if we get that house, I'm not looking to move anywhere.
I agree. Yeah, because I
Like-
mean it's gonna be I'm thinking 5
More
Or I was
probably,
gonna say
yeah.
north of 5, but I don't want to be out of pocket. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
gonna be closer to 650, I would think.
Okay. Well, I mean but that would definitely keep you here.
Oh yeah,
That would definitely
for
keep you
sure.
here. But I
like,
mean
the
that
whole
would make
thing-
you happy though. That would make both of you happy.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is like I like my house, but I gotta move if I have a kid.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
So like moving down the street is pretty freaking easy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And the bigger
something
space.
to look at.
Yeah. True.
Doesn't have quite as big a garage, but I can deal with that.
That's all right. As long as can the car go in at least?
Yeah, there's
Okay,
an
that's
underhouse
fine.
garage. Yeah,
That's fine.
and there's a finished basement, which is like massive.
Oh, that's
for
sick.
me.
Yeah, like not a man cave, but like a hangout.
Oh, it's
spot.
gonna be a man cave.
Yeah. All right. Bye, Kelsey.
It's gonna be a poker room.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
We need that. All right. What do we?
Oh, you want to get back on topic?
Well, what?
We talk.
Going off of
How long are we going for?
Where are
right
we
now?
at?
Go ahead.
Okay. How
Really?
much battery did it say? 48%. Okay, that's cool.
Sick.
What's on there that kind of doesn't derail this conversation, but can kind of add to it?
Emotional discipline, maybe. We can cut that for some other time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I saw which one. Yeah. So, how can we? How to effortlessly?
What
tie
did you
that
mean
into
when
it?
you wrote that? I told you to write it, but what were you talking about when you wrote it? Do you remember?
When did I write it? European traditional emotional discipline.
I had a feeling it was about something relationship wise. Emotional discipline is the topic. I forgot what we were talking about when
I think it
said
had to
write
do
it down.
something with like
I said something.
pressure
and
on
he sparked me.
guys.
Was it that? Or was that the
I think both.
most likely?
I don't know, but so we put down emotional discipline. So the way our males grew up, ours meaning my personal family tree and possibly yours, I won't speak for you, but if it ties certain traits, certain traits tie over, I'm sure you could relate. But yeah, it's just something I even preach on, even like Instagram stories and shit like that. That like just do it sad, depressed,
Yeah.
alone, like because I mean,
It's to suck it up and keep it moving. Kind
yeah.
Of thing.
Oh, actually, this is what I said. That girls can feel a certain type of way and get validity or sympathy, whereas if a guy does it, if a guy shows it, it's like almost it's like weakness.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like why now systemically why guys don't or are arguably I don't want to say oppressed, but like why we don't show is because then it's considered weakness. It's like a
Well,
stigma.
yeah, and it's mental health. Men's mental health has been a huge thing, especially like I think mental health in general
Yeah,
took
as a
a
whole,
big
as a
front
whole.
seat since COVID
Mhm.
because being inside made people go crazy, and there's been suicide rates have skyrocketed, and people just don't want to be on a planet that they don't know is safe anymore. But yeah, I think like what you're saying with men showing vulnerability is viewed as weakness, and it's unfortunate because if you don't show vulnerability, you lose what makes you a human.
Yeah, and that emotionalist trait that I was afraid of adapting to as kind of
like if you put on the front of being super stone cold and like have no feelings and nothing can hurt you,
you're not relatable.
you are probably
It's
the
just
most damaged person that you're
it
going to
is,
talk.
yeah, and I don't think people understand that it's not fun. And it's I mean, it just stems along the line of again, like if somebody again tying back into like the love loyalty concept, that was just kind of I don't know if my dad understands it, and he probably won't. It's gonna be Japanese to him, not literally because he doesn't speak English, but just very, very foreign. I think my dad's language is he's a giver.
Yeah.
Providing, just like literally. And that's his way of showing love to the family. So but I think in our generation, that's not enough. You can give and give and give in this generation. We're still going to be fucking head ass about it and be like, it's not enough, you know? But that's like a systemic, like I think it's just a knockoff in generations where
it's a shift in
wanting more.
Because also needing more.
True, but the type of stuff he was giving was almost like not up for debate. We needed a house. We needed food. We needed where the needs flew into Gen XYZ is shit you don't fucking need.
Yeah, I didn't mean needing as in like I want a nicer car. Right. I want 3 houses.
So
like,
that shit. So
like just needing more to meet that necessity.
Correct. So growing up, I don't have I may have a misconception of love, and I don't know if love there's a literal definition of it.
Well, no, there is no misconception.
Right,
it is
so
what
it
is
saying.
to
Like,
you.
I don't know. So what love was to me was just we had a lot of financial problems growing up, like a lot, and we still do. And it's like, I don't know if like a comment that threw all you guys off where you were like, if the girl makes more, like, no, that makes me feel, and again, it's not right or wrong, but it just makes me feel like I'm not
doing enough.
Yeah. And like, as hollow or as two-dimensional as that makes me sound, I don't think a guy, I really truly believe this, as wrong as it may be, I don't think a guy should be doing less than the girl. In that aspect of life, I don't think that's fair.
So what if the guy makes less money? Oh,
I don't. So that's the thing. That's it. If that
but
was
the woman does more for the family.
So the way stuff was given, it wasn't. So my dad's give was the status. We'll just say the house, the this, the that, the necessities. Mom's given was make sure my kids don't grow up. It's gonna sound ugly, but as maybe emotionally damaged as my husband.
Okay.
So like where I was in my head growing up is I was like, okay, let me take mom's passion, but let me take dad's work ethic, his loyalty, his what do they call that? Like oh my god, just like thinking straight. Like I need his level of
level-headedness
because I can't make emotional mistakes. I can't make emotional decisions, especially when it comes to money. It will drive me insane, especially with the problems I have. Imagine if I was emotionally incapable, given my trail of relationships, it would have left me for fucking broke. So like understanding that growing up, it's like my dad's love language was giving this to us, and my mom's love language was giving us feeding us, making us make sure we got to school all the time.
Being the mother.
So and where that ties full circle is mom didn't do more than dad. Dad, again, this is why I said traditional roles in the latter part. Dad had to do what he had to do. Mom had to do what she had to do to make it work.
Yeah. Well, because dad couldn't do both.
Respectfully.
Someone's got to do it.
But then at the same time, I don't think a boy needs a mother's love. I don't think he needs a dad's love. I don't think a boy needs his father's love.
If his dad's got the love to give.
If it's there, awesome.
Yeah.
But if mom doesn't love you though,
Yeah, I
that would break you.
I think
I'm a
I
mama's
agree
boy.
on that.
So
yeah.
am I. So am I. I needed my mother's love.
Yeah.
I fought for my dad's love growing up. I needed my mother's love though. I can go through a wall
Yeah.
1,000 miles an hour, 150% my fault, and kill someone, and my mom would still like let me home and be like, "It's okay, baby."
Yeah. It's
My
I
dad
think
beat
I
the shit out
agree.
of me.
He did?
Yeah,
Oh.
literally. Like my dad would be like, "You're a fucking idiot." Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, given how he grew up, my dad was beat. My dad was beat growing up.
My mom was beat. My grandma,
We got beat growing up, and I thought that was bad. My dad was like, they're tickling you.
Yeah.
So like, understanding that was like, now I'm like, damn, and where my male stigma or like idea of where it shifted for me was like, damn, dad's growing up a foreigner. Dad had to leave his entire life in Greece, his family, to bring this here.
Gotta make it work.
I have to stomp on some guys over here. Like, I have to
Yeah.
stomp on some weak males over here. And I don't care if that sounds like the way it is, but that's just, I mean, I'm happy with where life is right now. Whether you love me or hate me, I don't owe shit to anybody just because of the lessons of my father, but showing me, not teaching
Not
it.
giving it to you.
And same thing what you were saying, just kind of earning your way through, just growing up,
Yeah.
working super early, at a young age, and that's where that like I guess like the love language in and of itself correlated with me, that like the guy is supposed to be one way and the girl is supposed to be this way, but that doesn't mean the guy, like you said, can't love the son, or like the guy
Oh,
can't,
for sure, yeah.
you know. But I mean, but when it comes to where it's most important and who can do better, yeah, I think the girls can love the kids a little more.
I mean, ideally, you would want both parents to be
In a
big
perfect
part,
situation, yeah.
obviously. But if you think about like if the woman in the relationship is designated as like the caregiver to the kids, then naturally the kids are gonna like her more,
Right.
than dad, who's like out working 16 hours, and when
Yeah.
he comes home, he's too fucking tired
Right.
to even play with the kids.
Yeah.
So like it sucks because like I think we're moving away from like that kind of
I hope we
men
are.
have to work till they're dead, like literally dead.
I would love a 2-parent household. That's what I'm fighting for. I would
Oh,
love
yeah.
a 2-parent
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
household.
And like it's really important for people to get the love from both, because they'll grow up resenting their father
Correct.
if they don't get the love from them.
Correct.
And it'll make hardened people out of that. But is that good? Like it's tough love, but at the same time, no love isn't tough if it isn't tough love.
Agreed.
If it's tough love, it's tough love. Like, hey, I love you, but get your shit together. Like you were saying, you got a B in your test. Why the fuck didn't you get an A? Do better. That's tough love to me. No love is like,
That's just tough.
like,
That's hard.
no love is like, you went to school? Like, I don't know.
Just not caring. Yeah.
Did you get picked
and
up?
not caring is not cool. Like, I don't know why
Right.
that stigma's going around. The whole like I don't care, or like it is what it is
Yeah,
kinda
like
misconstrued.
people almost like glorify the fact that they had no father sometimes. Like I've seen people like, I don't need a man. Like my father never taught me how to do this, and
Yeah.
I still figured it out. And it's
And
not something to
can't-
really glorify,
Right,
but
yeah.
yes, you can.
You can figure it out,
You
but it's
can.
like, but now your
But-
morals are shot because now it's like I don't need a man. That's
Right.
so when we were talking about it last
Yeah,
time
yeah.
of the whole, and you know, like Kelsey's point of view was like I don't need a man, right? And I was just like, I don't know if I agree to that. I could be wrong.
I can tell you she don't. Her specifically, she doesn't.
So mental. So does anybody need anybody? No, right?
But, at the same time, like you don't need a man to pay bills and make money and
no.
go to work.
But can she do? But again, like, did you make things easier though?
I mean, yeah, but like
It
she
wasn't. And
makes
again,
things
that's not
easier
a
for me,
need.
too.
Like that's a really like it wasn't like she had to have you, but like in a relationship, like I said, if we're good at just what we do, whether it was just things, I won't say male or female things, just things. Like you have things you're good at. You could be washing dishes and Kelsey could be good at plumbing.
right.
Kelsey's making it easier for you by knowing that she knows how to do a plumber. You don't
Yeah.
have to call anybody out. So just like things like that. But again, traditionally, the roles that I thought growing up were just the very laborious roles. Females weren't working laborious things growing up.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they couldn't. It just means
They weren't.
they didn't.
Yeah.
Because the way, again, I grew up my grandma was home 25 hours a day.
Yeah.
And we were living with her for some time. And then mom up until like I wasn't home, then we were all home at the same time. So mom literally never left my field of view.
Yeah.
I worked, I got home, I had to wait for her to come pick me up when I didn't have a license. And then like I would just be home with her. She always made sure someone was home. So like that traditional view that may or may not exist anymore is where my level of perception and why like I have to do everything I can to make sure I don't want the girl to work. I don't want to work. I want to raise my kids. I want to chase my kids. From a health perspective, I want to be the 50-year-old that's chasing his kid or like whatever. And then I also want to be able, hey babe, when the kids go to school, whatever, let's go fucking generate money or let's go to the gym together. You know what I mean? So like we can now still do stuff on our time, which is my whole why as to why I wanted to be like a business owner, self-entrepreneur, whatever. So I can grant us that time. So that was my way. And again, if you guys remember at the beginning of the podcast was the whole providing thing. That's where it stems down with me.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, like, I think that's every guy's goal. I mean, at some point or another is to be it. Like, I want to be the person that can give someone else and myself all the freedom and all the opportunities to go out and enjoy themselves rather than being a slave at work. Like, I think that's just, like, instilled in human beings in general.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Because it just came to my mind because of what we were talking about downstairs. Is the standard set equally for males and females?
In what way? In how do you mean?
What way do you want it? I'm thinking just in general.
Well, I mean,
Like, they expected, is a male or female expected to do more or less versus the other?
I know my answer.
The blanket statement would be yes, males are demanded more of, but like in a lot of instances, as for every one you can give me the male's more important, I can give you one that the female is more important.
But now if the female messes up versus the male messes up, who's going to get more sympathy?
Most likely the female.
So that's where that statement in and of itself is why I have either the point of view, as right or wrong as it may be in my life. Because when dad fucked up growing up, even if dad was right, dad was wrong.
Well, happy life, happy wife thing, like that's just something that people made up over the years.
When you say like that person gets more sympathy, is it because that person or that gender was not expected to perform well doing that? Probably, right?
Also, if you give someone sympathy, you're not going to tell a woman, hey, you fucked up, like, own up to it and take responsibility, because they're probably going to be like, well, what the fuck? Why are you making...
But you would tell a guy that.
I would think so, because they can handle it. But at the same time, there's also opportunities for men to push back when you accuse them of being non-sufficient.
Right.
They're going to say, well, fuck you, I did this, and you were supposed to take care of that, and blah, blah, blah. So I think the men can just defend themselves a little bit more. Because what is the root of all altercation? Can I beat you in a fight or not? In most people's eyes.
Oh, yeah, like
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Am I going to go fight a woman because she's wrong?
Well,
no.
And that leads down to immaturity because, right, so a conversation between two immature people ends up being an argument, but depending on their level of perception.
And now, whoever's right is the one who's standing left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, like, with a man, you can call out a man for being wrong because that's just how people, like men in history, have handled altercations. The women are just right by default because you can't argue with them.
So that kind of stemmed down to what I was saying downstairs in terms of like, this is going to be a hot take. And you guys are not going to like it, but the playing field arguably now is level as it will be, and arguably even more in the future in terms of everybody being able to do everything, which I think is fantastic. I've never been against that, but where it falls down with me is I just can't help but think. I'll paint you a picture. At an engineering firm, a girl and a guy can make the same mistake. The guy will get the fucking heat, whereas the girl, they're going to say it's okay. But so that's where I don't think it's fair, because not we males, we as a generation have allowed just females to progress, which is awesome. But to that degree, with great power comes great responsibility, and that means with every good and bad in life, you have to own up to it. But where now we fall back, and I've seen it happen a couple times. It's not 100% or black and white like that, but that card is now pulled sometimes. Where it's like, well, what do you expect me? I hate that fucking statement.
What did you expect? So I'll give you an instance for and against your case.
Okay.
At work, the project managing department is basically split 50-50 men to women.
Okay.
The men, all the projects that... Okay, I'm just going to say this out front. All the project managers suck. I'm just going to say it. Like, that's
Like,
a
as a
blanket
whole,
statement.
okay,
They
yeah.
all suck.
Male or female doesn't
right?
matter, okay.
So they all make mistakes. And the men get a lot of pushback from... My department is I think, 100% male. My engineering department.
Okay.
The guys who work. When the project manager fucks up something on one of our projects and it's a guy, we go after them. Because we're like, you should have fucking had this figured out. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? When it's one of the female project managers, we're like, this is messed up. What are we going to do to fix it? It's a lot more easy.
Sympathy, yeah. It's a lot more easy.
They get a little bit of slack,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And that's just, I think, it comes, we could do that.
So here's the thing:
to
even
them,
even
but
if
we
I was
don't.
even if I was the guy yelling at the project managers, though, I'm still gonna treat the girls not the same. I'm gonna be like, hey, it's okay.
Yes, and that's why I think all the guys there do. So
And it's
is
like-
it fair that as men we treat women
the same without the same
no, not the
consequences?
same.
Okay.
We're not treating them the same because
Yeah.
if a guy fucks up, you're going after him. If a girl fucks up, you're like, oh well, you made a mistake.
Right. We'll give them the playing field. Right. Level the playing field, but the consequences aren't the same.
Is it fair that we're the ones who dictate that? Because that's reality. The men are dictating that playing field. It's not coming from other women.
But that's in my opinion, that's just super gray area because then now, project manager male yells at the female, and it's like now we throw these cards. He's sexist.
Yeah.
But then it goes against the grain of like, well, then what does the guy do?
Right. What's the correct answer?
But then,
are there women who work in your field at IBM or whatever?
A lot, yeah.
A lot of like IT girls.
I would say so, yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's your take on this? We've been talking on it. What's your take? Because I know you've been.
So I was gonna ask you, like, what if you switched those roles? Like, what if the engineering firm was mostly woman dominant?
Mm-hmm.
How would they treat the minority men working there versus the woman working there? Or is the woman
So, I
management
actually
gonna
have a good-
yell at the woman employees more harshly than the male worker,
Yeah.
or vice versa?
I think
okay.
that the women who oversee the guys are more harsh than the males who oversee the males.
Agreed.
And I've seen it. I've gotten
Agreed.
it firsthand.
Agreed.
One of the female project managers fucked up one of my jobs, and she was like, "Oh, well, you could take care of it. I'm not worried about it." Meanwhile, the other guy, because the option of me being opposing him makes him say, "I fucked up. Let me take care of it," because he knows that I'm not happy with him. So he'll go out of his way to make it right, whereas the woman was like, "You'll figure it out."
I agree 100% on what you said.
So
I won't even
I've
add to it.
gotten it
Yeah.
like from
'Cause
your
so
point,
have I.
and I've
So
also
have
I
I.
see it from, I guess my stance is that I see everybody should be treated equal if you're doing the same job. So like I'm not afraid to go to the women and be like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this is your first day on the fucking job? Like,
I
you've been
also
doing
agree-
this for
I
5
also
years.
agree
Why are you
with
fucking
that,
this
yeah.
up?" And then I look like a dick because I'm yelling at the girl. But if she's making more money than me, fucking running my job,
We're the
she
same.
better
Then
have
we're the
that shit
same.
figured out.
We're the same, in my opinion.
So it makes no difference the gender if they're at the same position.
Correct. I agree.
In my world,
And
I know everyone doesn't see it that
and
way.
I agree.
But I'm one of the few who will. I just don't have a filter. I don't care. I'm
Because
blunt.
I also know that, like, and it scaled the internet, that one girl that was like, or did somebody actually do it?
What?
A female became a male or some shit like that, and they
Powerlifter?
No, a female became a male, and they realized that like they couldn't survive being a male, and she ended up killing herself or something like that.
Oh, I think that was the thing.
That was like something that happened on the internet, and they were like, a female tried to be a male, and she realized how hard it was to be a male, and she would never, or like she's gay, I think, and then she was like,
It was a transgender female to male, and she was gay.
Oh my god, no, what was it?
This is getting crazy.
No, because she was no, she was gay, female, but I think she was gay. Damn it, fuck. And I hate fucking it up because it was a good point. But anyway, whatever the example was, if I know it, I'll put it or I'll tag it in the fucking bio.
Well, she's.
But it was like, well, no, but no. Somebody spoke about it on a reel, and I saw it, and they were basically like a female tried to play the role of a male, and psychologically they couldn't take it, and they like either they off themselves or they just didn't want to do it anymore, and they realized how hard it was to be us, when they were like, oh, now I know. She dated, so she didn't like guys, went gay, started dating females, and she was like, now I see why the female she was dating was treating her incorrectly, and she was like, I don't even fuck with girls anymore. Now I know why guys go through what they go
Also
through.
seen that firsthand.
But that's insane because now put both of them in a room, and the girl, I don't know, the girl is still gonna get the sympathy, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you can just take that right to court. Women are getting the kids when a man and woman split.
Yeah. Yup. Yeah. That's
Don't
another
matter.
perfect fucking example.
I mean, kind of similar, a little off topic, but I know there's a lot of women that, they claim that they can do as much as the man, right? But then when you ask of them to do that, then they use it against you as in like, well, I'm the woman. Why should I be doing that?
You're playing both sides of the
right?
field.
I do it with Kristen all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, she'll be like, I'm a woman. I'm independent. I can do anything that you do for like the house. Like, let's say fix something or carry all the groceries in from
That's
the
what
store.
I wanted to touch.
And then if I ask her, I'm like, hey, can you like bring in the stuff, like the heavy boxes from the downstairs? And she'll be like, oh, well, you're the guy. You should be doing that. Then I'm like, so what's the fucking point of like you saying that you can do as much as me if you're not even gonna do it or even want to do it?
Yeah.
It goes back to the example you painted
It's
where
hypocritical.
exactly.
I mean, yes.
Where can you do what we do? Fine, we'll give it. We gave that to you.
Yeah. Do you want it?
Do you want it?
Yeah.
Do you want the smoke that comes with it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
And you don't. You're gonna realize very, very fast you don't, and that's why.
but that's also that's us being the way we are too.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't want to be the guy.
So all right, touch on that because you played that downstairs.
Yeah. So like, I know a lot of people who, and you said this too. Like I know a lot of people who are in relationships with women who are the one wearing the pants, and they bring the bread in. They handle the house stuff. They, something goes bad, got it. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. And the dudes love it, absolutely love it. I'm friends with the woman who is that woman. She's like 45 years old, and she's got like a 30-year-old guy living with her. Basically, she calls him boy. She doesn't even call her boyfriend nothing. She just called boy. She goes, I'm literally taking care of this guy because she was actually his tutor in school and found out a little bit more about him through working with him and figured out that he has a really bad home life. His dad doesn't really believe in him and blah, blah, blah. So she was like, you know what? Come move out here, live with me, and I'll set you up. I'll get you on a good career path. They're building a home together right now. Like, they're basically just friends. And this woman is taking care of this guy because she's like, I'm going to be the provider for him.
My blood's boiling right now.
But that, in a way,
Like,
it's cool that women
I
are
kinda
able to
would
do
like
that.
that.
She's in tech. What'd you say?
because I want that.
Yo, facts. You want a sugar mama. It's
be
been a thing
sick.
forever. Like, everybody's dream is to have a sugar mama that just like, whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
just go do it. Don't worry about me.
I wouldn't feel bad about it either, honestly.
So, it
Would
depends,
you
though.
really not want to be a nobody? Not a nobody, but like socially, would you not want any?
What do you mean socially?
Like
nobody?
social status. Let's
What
say,
do you mean by that?
the Greg that's you now, or the Kristen that's doing what you're doing and you're working a retail job?
So like just switch bodies, kind of.
So does that mean that Kristen's a nobody?
No, Kristen is doing what Greg's doing.
No, now.
What do you mean, Kristen nobody?
If you switch and now Greg's the nobody, does that mean that Kristen's a nobody because she's not Greg?
She's wait, what? I'm confused.
Listen to the question.
I was just talking about like we were doing the same exact things as we're doing now, but she did more of like, I don't know, the manly work, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that'd be kind of cool.
You would like that.
Yeah.
disregard my because what I said then doesn't make
Well,
sense.
but no, but you said so. I don't know what you mean by socially nobody. That term doesn't
social
mean
status.
anything
So
to me.
monetarily, like what he's doing with life.
Social is not monetary.
Social status, meaning like where you place yourself in life. So that means how much are you doing? What are you doing for your society? Like stuff like that. Like how much are you making? That's what I mean by social status. Not literally like social media.
Okay, that's what you
social
mean.
status. So I mean like.
I don't see it that way.
Okay,
but
all right.
now
Well,
I
I'm
see what
sorry.
you're
All right,
talking
so
about,
that my iteration of that was so yeah. If Greg was just not that there's anything wrong with regular jobs, but just if Greg didn't
yeah.
have
If Greg was working at
60
Burger
cars,
King,
yeah, and
let's
then,
just say he's
and
working
then
at
if
Burger
Kristen
King.
had what you were doing right now,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily exactly what you were doing, but in the position that you're in right now,
Mm-hmm.
very LLC, very driven, very this, very that. How would you feel? Are you okay with that?
I mean, it doesn't
There's
matter
no right
what,
or wrong,
what
but-
I am. If I was working at a Burger King, I wouldn't feel happy with myself.
But just yourself, right? So that was my point. What I made with Kelsey about
Yeah.
with you,
Yeah.
that like you just wouldn't feel okay.
But that's because of the way you grew up and who you are as a person.
And that's why I think he
Right.
has the same answer because I think
we're all gonna have the same
right
answer because
yeah.
the way we all.
But
grew
that
up.
was my hot take on that. In
Like
terms
we all
of
have
like,
very high standards.
we're driven.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like-
we're held to high standards
right.
because of the way we were raised.
Yeah.
A lot of people weren't raised the same way we all were.
Well, yeah. I mean, the ongoing thing was if you want weak kids, give them everything,
Well, yeah. I mean
and that's why 16-year-olds are driving BMWs.
Yeah, it's tried and true that if you just give a person what they want, they will never know what it's worth.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a lot of people grow up in a way that they don't understand that what they have takes a lot of effort and time to get
Yeah.
because they were just handed it to them.
Mhm.
That doesn't make them a bad person or
No.
a weak person.
No.
It just makes them they just don't have the same drive that like fortunately we were all given.
Yeah. How they use it is my problem because if they start saying it's theirs, that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, if you claim this,
But like
and
if your
that
dad gives you shit, like if your dad literally gives you the life, like an amazing life, you can't. What do you say, Dad? I don't want. I wouldn't even say
Right,
that.
exactly.
But again,
So, like,
I
it's
also
hard-
wouldn't go around town
it's
being
hard to
like, I haven't made.
criticize people because like if you're in their shoes, in their silver line shoes,
Right.
are you gonna say this isn't what I want? Like
Right.
this isn't the life I thought I should have.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're gonna fucking be like, this is sick. My dad got me a fucking new jet ski and I'm driving new quads every other weekend.
Yeah.
It's just cool. You're gonna accept it for what it is and what they're giving you. And I think partially what your whole goal in life is to be that parent. Is to give them what they want.
But to know what it's worth, though.
Oh, sure.
Yes,
That's just
absolutely.
a matter-
them.
So here's
Yeah.
the thing. So my dad gave me the American dream. This is our American dream. As much as it may suck, this is like my dad sacrificed his life for this. Where I have to be smart and where I looked at my siblings, like, what do I have to do? I have to optimize on what dad did. So I have to now do 10 times the work he did. But how I can get ahead is efficiency. How can I do it better?
Yeah.
And by that doesn't necessarily mean sometimes working harder is the answer, but like in the world we live in, there's a lot more ways to be efficient. So that's what I want to do. But at the same aspect of moralities, respect, just regular tradition, like just stuff that you're supposed to do, as just as a human in terms of like treat people the same way, just like golden rule shit you're learning in second grade, and I mean, I would love to give them the edge because my father gave me the greatest edge of all time, and it was freedom. I can't do what I'm doing in Greece here.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it. Like when parents or kids say like when they grow up they want to be able to give their children
The life they never had.
better,
Yeah.
right? I think a good way to say it is you want to grow up and give your kids better opportunities, not
Yeah,
to
I agree with
give
that.
them on like a silver spoon
Yeah.
the end goal.
Right.
Like buying your kid a brand new $50,000 car when they
Nope.
turn 16. I don't think that's the way to do it.
No.
You should give them an opportunity that maybe other people don't have to be able to earn that on their own.
Because that's all I needed.
Like get them maybe
That's
a
all I
job.
needed. Just get me in the fucking
work.
room.
Yeah.
Get
To be
me
able to
in
buy
the
that
room with
car.
these people. That's all I needed.
So say, I mean, none of us are parents yet, and this is a hard thing to talk about because we're just not it.
Yeah.
But say we make it. Just for shits and giggles, we hit the lotto. The three of us
Like
split
$1
a
billion.
ticket. We're all billionaires right
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
We all have kids. How do you keep your kids grounded in reality when you live such an a non-attainable life of money and stuff like that? How do you keep someone grounded?
Don't give them a credit card.
I mean,
That's
obvi-
one
that's
way to
the
do it.
obvious
Yeah.
answer, yeah. But like, so it just instilling the same things that I don't think you can give the same lessons without necessity. If
Yeah.
you don't need to struggle, you're not going to,
Right.
because you know you don't have to. And you learn through struggle and hard times. That's why we all know what we know and we do what we do, because we had hard times growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't need to put someone through that, you probably won't. So how do you keep them still grounded on Earth, basically, and grow up similar to how we grew up and instill the same kind of ideals and
I think you, as the parent, that's your responsibility to keep yourself humble
That's
in
tough.
a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It is tough. Like
Money
if I had
changes
$1 billion fucking dollars right now, I'm going to a million motor cars. I'm buying every car I see.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, like, am I gonna give my kids all that access to? Like, am I gonna? I don't know. I feel like
Would you drive around a Bugatti and let your son drive around in a Honda Civic?
probably
I would, yes.
because I didn't.
How does
grow
that
up-
make? How does that look? Would you think you would get some pushback from people in the
I would
area?
get pushback, but honestly, I think it's a good way to raise the kid. I don't
It
know.
might make the kid resent you.
It
So-
depends where you grow up, but if you got $1 billion, you know you're living in a nice neighborhood.
You're not
right?
living in downtown White Plains.
It's hard, because like when you grow up, if you grow up without that kind of wealth and then you come into it, I think a lot of people would easily spend it
Yeah,
and boost their lifestyle,
Mhm.
and then when they have kids, yeah, it's hard.
you just give
I
it
don't
all of
know.
them. I know. I had this talk with someone else before. Like, what amount of money would change you as a person? And I feel like, win $100 million, you're a different person.
Yeah.
Everything you knew, everybody you knew is probably no longer existent, because now you have access to this completely different life that you never would have had access to. I want to say that if I had $200 million in my bank account, that I'm still going to be building my skyline, and then I'm going to just like fix up my house and just stay.
Well, situations change. Will you change?
Yeah, you have to. You have to adapt to your new situations.
I don't know.
You
if
can't. I don't think
would.
with that kind of wealth you can stay the same person.
I don't think money change. I don't think
It's
money
rare, but it
changes you.
exists.
I think money enhances who you already are.
Well, you like buying cars. You like buying cars.
That'll
I
just,
like buying
but
cars.
that'll just get bigger and better.
Yeah.
Does
So
that
you're going to Miller.
Yeah, but does that change you though?
I think once you start,
Like who you
when
hang
you
out
have
with and shit
access
like
to,
that?
well, yeah, obviously you are who you surround yourself with.
So you're gonna if you make it, you're leaving.
It
us
is
with
how a
us.
lot of
No, I'm
like,
taking you guys with me.
So
but
that was
that's
my
like,
point. But that was my point though, is because where I
Oh,
think
my
and-
whole example was us all making it. By
Okay,
the way. Yeah.
all right. So systemically, I think specifically us on this panel right now, if any of us were to make it and the others were not to make it, in terms of like one got the opportunity to put the others on, we would all put each other on. I don't
Yeah.
think, and it's happened in our group,
Yeah.
you forget where you come from. So I think where it stems down with me, going back to the kid thing, is I'm big on assuming responsibility, even if it wasn't your fault, because I'm also huge on leadership. So you're saying where would you ground your kid and teach him moralities and this and that? I would still do the stuff necessary to show how I got the lifestyle and how to maintain.
Yeah.
I can't tell. I mean, are you listening to a trainer that looks like shit?
No. Yeah. Right.
So point being is like, I could talk my kid till I'm blue in the face, be like, "Hey, you gotta go get a job. You gotta go get." Instead, he can just watch me go to work every day, or watch me do
Are
this
you
every
working
day.
if you got $200 million in your bank account?
Me personally, I think so. I think I want to work. Well, not like
On
work,
your
work.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my shit. Yeah, like business. Like
Yeah,
coaching and shit like that, gyms or whatever. Maybe.
Arguably, if I got a lot of money, I'd be more busy than I am now.
Agreed.
I'm
'Cause
starting
look at
20
me.
businesses.
Look at me. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
I never thought I'd be this busy.
Yeah.
that's the other thing.
I never thought I would be. I don't even think I'm possible. I don't even think it's humanly possible to work the hours I'm working right now.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
scared of
think
my
retirement is in like
It's not.
retirement
in my
is not
DNA.
in my future,
Yeah,
like my near future. Like I want to. My whole goal with my life is to make enough money to be sustainable and to start a business that I can die doing.
for the lifestyle I want.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean $1 million. For me, that doesn't mean a dollar amount. I think that's
Right.
where a lot of people, the discrepancy is. Because they're like, when
I hit a millionaire,
when
like-
I get this,
Yeah.
I'll live like that.
Yeah.
Instead of like,
Live like that, you'll get
and
there.
thank you.
Yeah.
So like the whole thing is like, because that's why the whole like fake it till you make it will never fucking work. You will
Right.
literally go broke trying and like literally be broke. So I think where it stems down is like I've never been rich, but we've been broke.
Yeah,
And
right.
like dad came to the country with nothing. So like where that stems down is like, even if we were abundantly well off on a monetary status, dad is still doing DIY stuff around the house.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
like
he could hire somebody.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's where I get, but I also don't think there's nothing wrong if dad wanted to kick back.
Absolutely not.
But then
He's earned
also,
it.
I as a kid, I think, but again, it's just the way I grew up, and I don't know if my kid would see it the same way because there's going to be a gap. Is I don't know if my son seeing me kick back, he would view that a different way because there would be a generational disconnect. Because if I know my dad makes it, I know in my eyes he absolutely 100% deserves to kick back,
Right.
and I would be okay with it, and I would still work 25 hours a day if I
Yeah,
have to.
yeah.
But like I don't know. I think maybe leading by example, that would be the best way to ground.
That's the only thing you can do.
yeah.
The principles don't change.
Yeah.
No matter how much money you have.
I don't
Yeah.
think so. I don't think so because
Some people do.
Oh, for sure.
And then they lose it all.
yeah. But
And
I
then-
also don't
and
think.
then what do you go back to?
I also don't know if changing is the wrong answer though.
Right,
I
that's
don't,
what I'm saying,
Yeah, I
like-
don't know if changing is wrong.
like changing for the better is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
If you can make your life easier, why wouldn't you do
Because
it?
right, you're a hero or a villain in someone else's story. So like, because what I will do is I will give you guys opportunities. I will not name drop. That's what I will not do for my people. Meaning like in our group, I will put you guys in the room to level the playing field. What you do there is on you. I will not hold anybody's hand. And I think that goes across the board right now. Because then if I now just get it for you, you're same thing.
know.
You'll never know what it's worth. Going down
Exactly.
to the kid parent relationship, you'll never know what it's worth.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important though. That's so important because
It's the most important.
because we're luck and opportunity, in my opinion, go hand in hand. It's when a hard work ethic meets an opportunity that we create luck. A lot of people, like everybody gets lucky, but when that shit, you're faced with that shit in life, because everybody gets lucky. I don't want to hear that shit. When that opportunity meets the person you are today, what you do with it, there's literally two avenues: optimize on it or fuck it up. And I've fucked up a lot. I've optimized on some. Some have done me well. Some have done me dirty. That doesn't mean, though, you guys are better at relationships because you guys got more lucky. No. I made my fucking choices.
Yeah.
I made my decisions. I fucked up when I was faced with a decision. Own it.
Yeah.
Make your bet with it, and that's it. So, like, I think, I think, because poverty is a mindset, and I don't want to go off on that tangent, but I did write that down the other day. In terms of like assume responsibility, I was like, and I put, you stay in poverty until you learn all the lessons that poverty has to teach you, and the first two words are my fault.
So I agree, and to an extent, because I think you can be met with poverty by your mindset. Getting out is a different story. Yes, people always have options to, but I mean, like the people across the street from my job, they're gonna be there till they die. I've witnessed some of them die, for Christ's sakes.
Do you think they can or can't change?
I think they can, but I think they're faced with so many things that are against them that it makes it near impossible. Because I've seen some of them try. And like most of them are just like content being what they are. And like we stand on our side of the road, they stand on theirs, and we always say, man, it must be so nice to just have no cares in the fucking world.
No.
Because they have a boombox, they got their 40s, and they're dancing on the sidewalk.
and you're the one
and we're
stressed
over
going to
here
work, yeah.
fucking smoking cigarettes because we're like, God damn, we got to go back to work in
It makes
15
you
minutes.
really wonder.
Yeah.
So
It
like
really makes you wonder.
it's insane to think that a person living on the street may potentially be happier than you. And it's crazy because if they really wanted to get out, they probably could. But are they happy with where they are? Is the mindset that they're in like, this is just now my life, make the most of it?
Yeah.
You know, like if you want to get out, I've seen people try to go get jobs and they get turned down because of who they are. There's no reason you should turn away someone from being a janitor or working in a deli.
Agreed.
Or, you know, give them these
Just
jobs.
anything.
People just don't give jobs to people that if they know that they come from the street. Because there's just a stigma behind them that you're a bum, you're not going to show up, you're unreliable.
Yeah.
Even though that guy is probably dying to go to work.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're very unfairly treated, but majority of them are just happy with where they are.
Yeah, I'm a huge believer in sweat equity. That's why
Absolutely.
that's why the leadership. Like I give everybody as the same in my eyes. If I could give everybody the same opportunity, we're all through a preseason, and you get to work your rank.
Yeah, and it's also up to that person to, if I apply for a job and I know I desperately need it, and they say no, I'm going back and I'm applying again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not going to take no for an answer.
Yeah, we're not resilient like that anymore. I don't know if that
people
exists.
just say no, and then they just accept it, and they just accept defeat.
Yeah.
And then that's the end.
I mean, and you're in sales. I mean, how
many times you get turned down?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you gonna stop selling houses because you can't sell houses here?
No, you just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
if you don't do it, then you're definitely
just
not
not
gonna
never
going to
do
it. The only guarantee is it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So I mean, like the whole the poverty thing, it strikes a nerve on both ends because I know that there are two sides to the story, and not everybody has a fair chance at seeing at having their story heard, which is like a huge thing. So, did you have another point you want to talk about?
No, I mean you hit it. I mean because it stemmed down to the whole mindset of that was kind of it growing up. Like to bring that tangent full circle, like that was it with Dad growing up. Like Dad just always knew he had to be the answer.
Yeah.
Like there was no.
And I feel like my dad too.
Even if mom was just red in the face wrong, like 120% wrong, Dad was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, okay with that side.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, and he's been so emotionally beat down. It's been my biggest fight for life. But in terms of like letting someone close and doing this and doing that, and my stubborn ways getting in the way, as right or wrong as they may be, depending on who you ask. It's just it's just, and it happened in it happened in all three relationships, if I'm being completely honest. The whole it is equal until shit hits the fan, and it's like, well, you were,
yeah, I mean, I feel like just that's
but
just
that hurts because it's like,
yeah,
it sucks because then like what do we do? What do we do as guys? Like we cry? Oh, I'm dating a bitch.
Too bad.
Yeah, but it's like, and not even to that extent, but it's like, damn, because it's now like maybe the girl's thinking, is he fit for service?
Right.
Like, can he lead me?
Well, it's not necessarily like if I don't count on him, will he get me there? It's just like, do they now see you as not an equal if you can't take the heat every now and then?
Yeah, right. Because then girls are like, be vulnerable, and then guys share their emotion when they use it against them.
Well, that's just like a shitty thing that just it has to get.
But like you do that once to a guy that hasn't opened up, he's not opening up anymore.
Oh, never again.
Like never again.
Never again.
And then it's like, and then it's weird because you knew with my last one, and I think I mentioned it to you. You know more of the story than you do, and I'll tell you after because this will make sense. But in a situation where I now had to overlook things because they were just in a fist fight, they were jabs. But then it's like, if it kind of forced me in a pocket to make a mistake, arguably I didn't want to make, but that was the knockout. So like it was just like, I mean,
you're backed into a corner,
like so, and like you keep like right, like how annoying is this right now? So right, but that's not annoying, but like it just paint the picture. That's not annoying, but if I did that 24 hours a day, you're gonna have a bruise there. Yeah. So it's like, how much heat can I take until I'm forced in a wall to now make a distraught decision, in my opinion. I mean, it was a mistake, but I made a bad decision, but I think it was because of the mental state I was in. And it wasn't, and I never said, and you can even go back to the subject and ask this, I never once said in any of my relationships, do not do this. I've never said that, but what I did say was, when you do this, this is how it makes me feel. Okay. And this is how it makes me act.
Yeah.
Now, what you do with that, I just toss you the ball. Yeah. Okay?
Slam dunk that bitch.
Like, straight on me.
Yeah. So, okay, now I have a question for you. Being in the male role and getting the flack from the female, is it your responsibility to always respond or react with a level head?
Yeah.
Because you know that.
I have to.
Yeah. So
All eyes
in
are
the
on
moment, in the moment that you didn't, you got what came to you.
So
Right.
to talk to you guys, because I am talking to Andy, and we've had this conversation before. That's why he asked it, and it's a good topic. I knew I was different when I was okay with people not hearing my side of the story. The only people that know, and the only people that I wanted to know the actual story, are on this panel, and a few in the chat right now. The few that didn't give me the opportunity to preach my message, say my side of the story, and made a decision of me, or made me in their mind, I'm not fighting it. Because now I'm fighting a losing battle. You already have me made in your head. I'm not changing your mind.
Yeah.
I'm not changing your mind. Both of these guys right here, and I seriously, if you're listening to the podcast right now, run this segment back, because I've never once publicly said anything bad about any of the girls I've dated.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And it's not because I couldn't.
Right. You definitely could.
Not because I wanted to, and God knows how much I wanted to.
Yeah.
But going off of what we said maybe 30 minutes ago, the girl's allowed to cry and get the sympathy. If I cry, doesn't matter. He fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, in most cases, unfortunately, that is the truth.
And stuff like that growing up is why I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it is what it
Just-
is.
okay.
That's just part of being a guy.
That's like my dad's okay, just
Yeah.
stem
It's
down.
okay, but it's not okay kind of thing.
But then now where I think, and again, a stigma that's on me, the male got to look in the mirror and change. The female, it's okay. I think in the female mind, they're like, this is my baggage. You have to accept it. Whereas the guy, in my opinion, would, well, actually, most guys won't nowadays, but
Yeah.
look in the mirror and be like, okay, I fucked up.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
a
gotta
rare
change.
thing. And it's for both, I think. It's hard to look yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, you're not it. You fucked up.
Because I think girls are just going to be like, this is, again, I could be wrong, and there could be females that don't do this. Not all girls, but I'm just saying, I'm a male, so I'm judging you guys, females, as this. And this is also an okay statement, but this is my baggage. You have to accept it.
Yeah.
So they won't, like, assume the responsibility. They're like, well, I know I'm fucking up, but, like, it's also me.
It's who I am.
Yeah. With the shrug. And honestly, that's not an incorrect answer, though. Because I think also in a relationship, you have to know that, like, your father with your mother, I don't want to say hate. No, your mother hates the buying shit.
Yes.
She can go till she's blue in the face.
Yep.
But it's like, okay, you know what? This is who my husband is. And it's like, again, very, very dumbed down situation. But concept being is like, that's what my husband likes to do. I'm like, let him do it.
Somehow
Like,
deal
just
with
let-
it?
Yeah.
You just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
You could rant all about
Make
it.
yeah.
but
And
it's
it
not
won't
gonna
change
change
anything.
anything.
But that's where maturity.
Also, choosing the lesser of two evils kind of thing.
I also argue that, like, that, in my opinion, that's not love, that's loyalty. You're choosing to fucking, like,
Yeah.
love plays a role in that, but I think more
Yeah.
importantly, it's that's loyalty driven because it's a choice. Yeah, that's where I think it stems down to. And I don't know, going back to Kelsey's topic on the first one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I die leading a life that's not sustainable, but it's like I need to
Try.
I need to be me.
Yeah.
And like as
You shouldn't have to change.
as unsustainable as that might seem to the outside, and I'm sure even there's someone even crazier than me. I'm not it by any means, but like I do want some crazy shit. I don't know. Like it's I'm a fucking handful. And it's
That's your baggage.
It's
Deal with it.
and that's just it. And I think, when it comes down to it, the busy, the going out, the going out was the last relationship, and at the end of the second one, yeah, I mean, I can't, reading.
Well, that was the fall of my first one. Was the going out.
I don't.
It's been there.
And I said it, like, it's not that I don't want to hang out. I'll give you time, but then, like, when we have time, like, I don't want this out. When we're at dinner, this shouldn't even be on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I like,
Phone
no,
eats
I
first,
don't.
though.
No, I don't give you guys a lot of time. But the time I do give you guys is quality. I wouldn't take a minute back. Within the past year, the time, like what we've grown to do and this and that, I would not change a thing. We've arguably don't even see each other like a lot anymore. Like if we ever, without an event, I wouldn't trade it for the world because now it means something to me.
Yeah.
Now it's like I know we're grown. Like this is mentally challenging right now. Like this is making all of us think. And then when we have fun, dude, we have a fucking blast.
Yeah.
We are fucking idiots. But I just don't. I don't know if people are gonna see that like that. I mean, or do you want me to hold your hand 24/7? You know, like I don't know.
Well, some people can't function without guidance.
Yeah, and I mean, you and Kelsey are perfect testimony to it. I mean, you guys can work 90 hours a fucking week and give each other 10 hours a week, and you're happier than picking
That's
shit.
10 hours a week is probably
it.
quintuple.
And that's even,
what we
I was
get
gonna say
right
that's
now.
even a lot, but to paint the perfect picture, you know, like 10% of your time.
I think we get probably realistically 45 minutes to an hour with each other every night.
Yeah, and that's. But I mean, you were.
And that's on the couch watching YouTube
and,
videos.
and yeah, no, Kelsey.
And that's it. That's
Kelsey and Kristen are few and far between in terms of like
Yeah,
I
and
know
Kristen
that
too.
they're.
She
I
works
know
like crazy.
that they're fighting for the bigger picture. They understand that. So
it's a lot easier when it's a tag team effort.
Mhm.
So I mean, not hopefully because like what was that thing you said? Tough times breed tough people or whatever.
yeah, so right, yeah, so the weak men create weak times. Weak times create hard men create easier. Yeah, that's like the systemic, and then like eventually a great man comes out of it.
Right.
Well, man being whoever the fuck it is. I mean, you know, but it's like
Could be woman.
yeah, but like point being is like a hard time. Like eventually when it gets hard enough, I mean,
You got to nut
only
up or shut
the
up.
barrel only goes so low, and then it's like you gotta.
Yeah, and I feel like women could be faced with that too, and whether they
100%,
come out on
100%.
top makes them, a little not to like what you're making them more masculine just
So-
because of history. I'm just talking about history.
Right.
Um.
So what I did write down, because I did say something
you
that,
did?
that Kelsey, it sparked Kelsey, and I said it incorrectly, but this is what I literally meant when I said it. When boys stay boys and never want to be men, and girls become men so they can rule over them, and then they wonder why they can't find a good man. That's not a hit to male
Okay,
or
I get it,
females,
yeah.
but it's just quite literally when the boy refuses to be a fucking guy, like grow up and take and own his shit, that's when the girls are like, I don't need guys, which they're right because the boys are being immature.
Mm-hmm.
But then now they almost take on that role of like, I don't need no man, which is not wrong.
It's the bad bitch thing, yeah.
But that's kind of where the systemic, like, it's a hard statement to grab because it's like no one's wrong, but no one's right. Right?
Yeah.
It starts with the guy, right? Because the guy should just do what guys do, just like lead by example, in my opinion. That's what most guys should do. And that doesn't mean the girl has to be, and I said submissive, and that tagged a lot of you, which is fine.
Yeah.
That was an incorrect term. But in terms of like being one with your partner, just as equal, interdependently growing together as a couple, yeah, I mean, but you're still, in my opinion, even if you're in a couple, I think Kelsey leans on you to be led. But it's a choice, not that she needs it. It's a choice. But, I mean, you lead.
I mean,
I would say so.
I
Not that she can't.
try to.
Right.
She can do anything that she wants to do on her own.
But she's choosing. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But she's
Some
choosing
things
to
I
like.
can make a little bit easier, so I do.
And
Like when the well pump goes out, I'm changing the
thank
motherfucker.
you. Okay, so
Like-
that is the big gray area. It's
Yeah.
not that nobody cannot do anything, but it's just like when guys. Again, this is what I was talking about the same before. When a guy can't be a guy, I'm gonna say it as like brute as it comes out. When a guy can't be a guy, yeah, it forces girls to figure it out, and it's not their fault. And then when they grow, dependently, and I had this conversation with you, they realize they don't need a man, and they're not wrong
Yeah.
because they're doing more than a man is doing.
Yeah. But
So
you don't want to be
don't.
that guy that can't do it. And that's just because the way we are. Not like, say, well pump goes out on someone that I know's house. He
Yeah.
ain't changing
Yeah,
that
no,
thing.
no.
He's calling a fucking
No,
plumber.
yeah.
There's no shot that they're doing it. And that doesn't mean that they're less of a man. It's just me being who I am and you being, the way you guys being who you are. You're like, all right, this thing's broken. I'm going to fucking fix it. Like why would I call someone to fix that if it's right in front of me?
I think being a male is just figuring it out. If it's
It's just a go get a mindset. And that's
figure
just
it
like
out. Even if you don't know, you better know somebody.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things obviously I won't and cannot do.
Yeah, absolutely. But
that's
it's still your. But I guarantee you, it'll be you
it's
trying
my
to figure it out.
problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's just, but again, I don't say any of this in a corrosive manner that like, because I said this at the end of the podcast on the way home, and it would have really fucking sparked the flame if I said it. But
So you're gonna say it now.
I'm gonna say it now, and I want it to sit with people. But again, I think in a lifespan, I really think girls need guys. Guys want girls.
Yeah, that's definitely a sparker.
That's gonna piss some people off. And like I slowed down saying it because I didn't even know if I wanted to say it, but
Is that what you want it to be like, or is that what you think it is?
I think that's what it is. If I'm being completely
You
honest,
really think that's what it is?
I think that's what it is. And
or is that what you
wrong,
want it
No,
to be?
as wrong as it may sound, and it could be. I'm very opinionated on that. That statement. Girls need guys. Guys want girls.
Just like in general.
Mm-hmm. Because I think down the line of a lifespan, every girl at some point is going to need a guy. Not relational, just with anything.
So does a father fit that bill
What do you mean?
of a girl needing a guy? Does her father
Does a
fit
girl
that
need a father?
role?
Would a girl need a father?
No. I'm saying
wait,
a woman needing a guy, a girl needing a guy. Does having a father in her life fill that role of needing a guy? Because you say not relational.
It could be. That's a good take.
Do you think that you think girls need to learn from guys? Is that what you're saying?
No, no, definitely not that. I'm just saying. I'm trying to like.
Well, I want to get to
it's
the
a
root
very,
of it.
yeah, it's a
because,
very general. Yeah, it was a general statement, but I think just like. Just think of all right, we've all been single before. Just go through it. Is there things that you have gone through that maybe like put yourself in a situation where like a girl, we haven't been on this planet very long, but like.
You're kind of saying like if there was a family, husband, a wife, and kids. Maybe the wife kind of relies more on the husband in case like something shit happens, like emergency, like versus where a woman might just dwell on the issue. Whereas the girl will be like, okay, action plan.
Yes, but not that the girl can't figure it out.
Yeah.
The girl could, but I think that's where they might need the guy.
So I'm just gonna throw out a random
Example.
incident.
Okay.
Say my house catches fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of who I am, I'm gonna go put the fire out. Her,
Run
gonna
out.
go grab the kids.
Uh-huh.
Go grab the kids and get the fuck out. Grab the cat, get out.
Right.
So I guess she's relying on me to take care of the problem, and I'm relying on her to figure out another solution.
Okay, so sorry the camera cut off, but what Andy, I believe, last said was, what the camera caught, I know what he said, but it was if the house is on fire, Andy's focusing on putting the fire out, and Kelsey's focused on grabbing the kids or Oreo, the cat. And I think, so my whole statement was that, the girls needing guys wanting men because, guys wanting girls.
I need a man in my life.
I think where it stems down to is, I think, just because I think in a lifespan, and Andy's about to come out and talk heat because I can hear the footsteps, like in a lifespan, a guy can do it alone. Now, can a girl do it alone? Yeah, but she's gonna need other like external factors to figure it out. So I'll let you tap in because. Or you want to tap in?
I mean, I could give some
I don't know if you wanted to finish
some
your example.
perspective to it. So, like Kristen, her parents divorced when she was, I don't know, pretty young, like elementary school. And she would spend half her time with her dad in Armonk, and then she would spend half her time with her mom in Mount Kisco. Did the father figure, or like, was there a father figure and a mother figure in the house, and then now they're separated? What happens to that? Like, did the mom become more self-sufficient because now she had to live on her own versus now the guy, did anything change for him? Like, did he have to bump up his productivity or in some other fashion because now he doesn't have a wife to rely on or provide and vice versa? So, like, from a woman's standpoint, like, does she need to figure out more to be able to survive versus where the guy, like, in that essence?
I know my answer.
I don't know.
I feel like that would depend on what their life together was like before they split.
So I don't want to get into those details because it's a very private matter. But, like, I know from my family, like, if my parents split up, my dad would not be able to survive on his own versus where my mom could.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you the devil's advocate to that situation, like where a woman doesn't always need a man. Because my mom absolutely does not need my dad.
Yeah.
He needs her. My dad has always been reliant on a woman, actually, his whole life. He was the youngest of 3 kids. His 2 siblings are older sisters.
Can you just elaborate how?
So my dad's dad passed away when he was only 10 years old.
Okay.
So it was an all woman in his family. My grandma had to get her shit together to raise that family in Queens of New York. So he was always a mama's boy. Okay. She raised those kids. I mean, my grandma spoiled my dad, and she still does. She's 90-something years old, and he goes over there.
97?
She's almost 100 years old.
Holy
She's
shit.
like 95. But she's
yelling at your
healthy. Dad. She is super healthy.
Good.
She's been the most healthiest grandparent I've ever had.
Ramen noodles, baby.
Ramen, dude.
She's still calling me almost every day, coming
like,
over so she can cook for me.
That's
like
sick.
she
What?
is
it.
Like
I love that.
That's awesome.
I think
love
my
that.
grandma didn't work until my grandpa died in the 70s.
Yeah.
So like she had to get her shit together, and she did. And now we have a huge family. I have like 1 million cousins. Those cousins have kids, like multiple kids. So in her position, I think, she didn't need a man, I guess, to survive. But before that, maybe she did. So until like something like life tragic, something happens, I don't know. That's something like it's instincts or survival mode. But like if my parents separated, my dad, I think, would be having a very hard time.
So
he's
do you
so
think
used to a lifestyle where he's being supported by other people.
Right. And do you think that stemmed from him not having his father around when he was a kid?
I think so.
I'll
And
say
maybe that's why
that's what I think.
he, I never thought I had a really like caring or loving
That's
father.
why he has a shopping problem.
Because he never had a dad either. Because he always had a mom that was
Right.
always taking care of him.
But his mom loved him very much.
His mom loves him very
so
much.
he would have, in theory, learned how to be very loving
Yeah.
from her.
I think the way he shows love is very, very like
Buying stuff.
through action and not
Agreed.
buying stuff.
Agreed.
He
Things.
pays the bills. Yes, that's one way of, I guess, I don't know, supporting his family and showing love. But he's not the kind of guy that's gonna be like, hey, let's go do something
Go on
together.
a date.
Yeah,
Right.
let's go to the. He actually did. He taught me how to swim. He taught me how to ride a bike. So I mean, he did a lot of those dad things. But as soon as we grew up, he kind of went away from that.
Well,
I
you
don't
were
know.
also super independent at a very young age, so he probably didn't
Yeah.
feel like he needed to hold your hand very long.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to make sure he won't shit himself, and now he's working for me.
Right.
Because he didn't know how to
So-
do it. He was like, I need my kid to learn.
So, yeah, I mean that's my take on it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But like, yeah, Kristen's like mom, she had to become much more, I think, self-sufficient on running a household, like her own house, doing everything as a single parent. I think that changes things definitely.
Oh, I mean, like not... I'm not going to say not having a man in the house, but not having someone else in the house just breeds stronger people in general. Like, a man could easily figure it out just as easy as a woman can do it.
Mhm.
And I think that comes down to what I was saying before about having necessity. Necessity causes change. And if they don't need to learn how to do other things that the man would have normally done, they're not going to because they know that they're going to do it. If I left my house, Kelsey will figure out how to get everything done.
Mhm.
And if she left, I will figure out everything that she used to take care of, how to get it done too. So I think it's just, it's not
You think
so black and white, like man versus
There's not-
woman.
no.
I think it's just people. Like humans will learn how to adapt
Yeah.
based on.
Well,
the,
I was gonna say if we don't adapt, then we die. Like
Exactly,
I was gonna say,
you will
that's-
die.
That's the
Yeah.
answer. Yeah.
It's just like human instincts.
No, I was gonna say it's the human way. I mean, we have to adapt.
We're,
If we
we're
don't,
all wild animals at the end of the day.
Yeah.
right, and we're
Yeah.
we're bred
When
this
the end
way.
of the world
Yeah.
comes, like
We're going back to being fucking monkeys.
yeah.
I'm ready for it. I'm stoked.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I.
I think good dads.
No, it's great.
breed
No, it's
good-
definitely a gray area. There's no black and white. That's why
No,
when I
yeah.
said it in the car, I was like, "This is gonna be really hot."
Well, yeah, it
Um,
comes off insensitive because like
Right.
it's such a
So,
complex
like,
idea.
Yeah,
that
hopefully
it's-
before you guys run into my DMs, just please
Watch the whole
hear
fucking
me, yeah,
video,
hear me out,
bitch.
but no, I think also in theory, a lot of people were like, somebody asked me this and I didn't respond till a day and a half later. I read the message, but they were like, "Do you ever want to get in a relationship?"
Do you?
And I don't know.
I've asked you this before.
I don't know. Like I just don't know. Like I'm not gonna be that guy like that. There's no girl, because I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
there is, but
There
it's
is.
like
I think you paint a very
paint a-
hard
I have a I mean it's
to
it's a hard to
fathom-
live lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's hard to manage. But then like I don't know. But then like I also don't want to compromise because like I've gone through and still am in the trenches very much of building this life, and that can't go to a doll. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for that derogatory statement, but like that can't go to like a fucking.
A puppet.
Yeah, it's got it. So like, and a lot of you guys, like when I said submissive, I get it, but a lot of you guys also got butthurt, and you're like, you don't need a weak girl. No, and that's not what I mean by, again, submissive was probably a bad term, but what I want is like, is the fucking fact that like, I don't need to date a fucking another version of me, but like also like you do have to be independently strong, like mentally. I think I mentioned that across the board. But like also that submissive factor is like, please don't forget how to be like a girl
So
and
like,
like passionate.
so say right now I'm just gonna throw it
Okay,
out. You're
yeah.
working 20 hours a day right
Okay.
now, which probably is on the low end.
Yeah.
Do you want to come back home to someone that's like, oh, you've been gone for so long. I missed you all
Nah.
day, and like we didn't spend any time together. Let's sit down and watch a movie after working 22 hours.
I
in
mean,
a
it's
day.
like it's like it's gonna be sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes
Yeah,
maybe
right.
shit.
But it's like, I the best way I say it is just be my peace and like whatever that is at the time. I think so. It's like
Leave me the fuck alone.
if
when you
it's
need me,
that
leave me
on
alone.
the day, but I'm not in like a bossy fashion, like stay the fuck away from me or like I'm telling you to do, nothing
Yeah.
like that. But just like, and again, like it's kind of hard for me to do it in the stages of building life because I'm
It's more so
so
after you.
fucking annoyed. I'm so annoyed at the dumbest shit. Like even sometimes stuff you guys say, which it's meant as a joke, but I take it the wrong way. I'm just like, I want to punch a fucking wall because my patience is just so thin. And that's my fault because of how hard I'm working myself. But it's just like,
Was it my comment about your calves?
yeah, right. But it's just I don't know. It's just, it's so difficult because it's like
I feel like you're just not.
I
there.
want. All right, so
you're not
let's say
there yet.
soft. Let's say soft.
What? Who?
The girl.
You
But
want
not,
a soft girl?
Not soft in like a passive or like a mushy way, like a feeling
lovey-dovey?
way. Yeah, but not like, hey, baby, like, but like, it's such a weird thing because I don't want like a fucking Barbie doll. You know what I mean? But like, I want a badass girl that runs her shit and is dependent and is this and that. But it's like I also want them to be like, and again, you could be badass and still play the passionate role of being the girl in the relationship.
So,
I like
badass-
the more
Okay, you want badass but affectionate.
Yeah, that might be the word. Yeah, because it's like
Independent
I
but
don't need a
You want a
girl.
Ronda Rousey.
I don't,
Yo,
yeah, right. It's
she'll
like
beat the
it's like
fuck out of you.
between Ronda Rousey and like fucking
Britney Spears.
Yeah, it's like literally right smack in the middle. Where it's like if shit hits the fan, because it always does, hold your own. But
Yeah.
then like when it's time, and and Kelsey kind of cut me off, and I it wasn't what I was thinking, but like in terms of like when it's time, but just like I want that role of like I don't know, just I want that like traditionally what a girl did growing up. Like mom was always like, hey, honey, are you okay? Hey, this, hey, that. And not that my dad disrespected or disregarded it, but it's just like that was my expectation and still is to this day of like, like I know we had a hard day. Like, let me make it easier. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a lot of back and forth, like the fucking that whole fucking spiel of
So
what I
would
just
you
said.
do you expect yourself to do the same for them if they?
Absolutely, I would. I know I would. I have done it. I know I've done it. I've done it with all 3 of them in the past. I've literally told them that like I've had a shit day, and it doesn't matter how I feel. I still need to make sure you're okay. Because in a world full of shit, you have to be my peace. You have to be. I have to hit the bed, knowing that like it's us. It's bless you. It's us against the world. Like I have to know that. But that also does mean that like because I've just been so emotionally distraught and derailed and whatever the fuck terminology you want to use is like I because I lack it, I need that in the girl.
Okay.
Because I almost feel like I'm like 70% on my father's side of like that emotional side of things, and I don't want to.
I know exactly what you mean. It's just a very, very, very hard shoe to fill.
Yeah,
and it's like you want the best of both worlds, but both worlds don't exist in the same universe, kind of thing.
Because
like,
I also don't. I don't need a business owner girl. By an independent girl, I mean just like she holds her own.
Yeah, makes
like
her own money.
Mentally,
like,
yes. Not like I need her to own a. No. The money's gonna be taken care of.
Yeah.
Whoever's dating me, the money's gonna be taken care of. But the act of like, I would love for her to be the leader in the group. Of her friends, she has to be the leader.
Yeah.
I've easily determined girls whether I wanted to see or not see out immediately. If you're the pushover in the group or group thoughts, out. I don't want that because I'm already a not well-liked guy.
Yeah. Well, it's also the same with being friends with a dude.
Fair.
Like, same kind of criteria.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, if you can't think for
by
yourself,
your
you're
surroundings,
like, who the fuck?
And that's why quite literally what happened to us recently happened because it's like it's group thought and it's like you don't think for yourself. And that also along the lines of like because I don't know, I personally don't think, and you guys can disagree, I or give me insight on it. I don't know if I'm asking for a lot in a girl. I don't really know if I am. Like, just own yourself.
Yeah, on paper it's not, but in reality it is.
Yeah.
Because it's such a complex thing of being an independent person is so multifaceted in so many different ways that it ends up being asking for a lot, even though it isn't. You think it's not a lot, because you just are.
Yeah.
But when you ask someone to be not like you, but of the same mindset, but also have the qualities of someone who traditionally would not be in that same realm of person. So you want the best hand-picked traits from 2 different sides of the pool, and someone in the middle there is going to fit the bill. It's just an extremely hard bill to fill. Mm-hmm. You know?
And I'm definitely willing to compromise where I can, but where I can't, I'm so stubborn on. Because like I will give.
You don't like taking?
No,
You don't want to receive? You're not compromising on that?
No, give. I will give in terms of like slack, theoretically speaking.
Yeah.
In terms of like if there's baggage, if there's this, if there's a past, if you made a mistake, if you did, because I've often loved to the extent where I've gotten hurt and overloved, which is why like I don't completely agree with that statement anymore. With that's being enough, because you can love someone and still walk the opposite way. I'm a sole believer in that. I love everything you're doing. I just can't grow with you. Like, we can't grow together. That doesn't mean I want to halt your progress or this or that. Even in any of the fucking relationships, as much as sour as I may be, I don't want demise for anybody.
Yeah.
I don't even have energy to do me at the end of the day. Like, me bleeding. Yeah, like, it's whatever. Fuck, you fuck on, you fuck, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you fuck down.
It's just the concept.
So what were you going to say? You will not, you're stubborn on what?
On things that, because the things that I'm stubborn now on and things that I won't change, I've cut the slack on in the past. And it was just like that poking thing I was saying before, where it nudged me. And it was like, hey, I don't really like that you're doing that. You're still doing it, but it doesn't make me feel good. You know, like, I'm leaving it up to you. Like, hint, foreshadowing. Like, maybe just kind of don't do it. You know, yeah, but it's like, you're pushing me against... Fuck. You're pushing me against the wall, And I'm just like, I think it forces me to mess up because when I was put, oh my God. When I'm put in a corner, I'm just gonna, it's survival instinct.
Yeah.
I think when most guys are put somewhere,
You make bad decisions.
yes, but did I write it down, honestly? Because I do be journaling.
Have you ever been in that kind of position? Where you like, when you thought about something you did in the past, and you're like, fuck, if I took like 10 more seconds to think about it, I wouldn't have done that.
All the time.
Oh, yeah? All the time.
All the time, man.
You got that untapped rage that you
Yeah.
just let out. You don't have to be specific. Like, specific. That's a fucking hard word to say.
Specific?
Specific.
Specific.
Specific. Yeah.
Specific.
It's definitely hard to not just like blow a fuse.
Like road rage.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but like road rage, but like in normal situations, like not actual road rage kind of thing. Or if it's like
I'm hoping I wrote it
someone
down,
at work
so.
just like fucking pokes you the wrong way and you just blow up on them, and as soon as
Yeah.
they walk away, you're like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have said that."
Yeah. Definitely. For sure.
Yeah,
Happens between me and Kristen quite a few times.
yeah.
We work on it. I mean, the thing with the road rage, though, it's like my mom mentioned it to me. Because we were driving. It was me, my mom, and Kristen in the car going to one of the wedding venues to look at. And this fucking dude in a Wrangler cut me off going onto that.
What? In a Wrangler?
In a Wrangler.
A what?
What?
What did you say?
A Jeep Wrangler.
What did you say before that?
He cut me off.
A dude in a Wrangler?
A dude in a Wrangler
Oh.
cut me off on the 287 going to 95 exit.
Okay.
And I road raged
road
so
rage.
hard,
Right up
dude.
his butt?
We were like, he was like brake checking me.
Oh, jeez.
He was like, I was trying to cut him off. He was swerving into my lane to like block me. That was bad. But I had my mom and Kristen in the car, but I still did that.
Oh,
And after
no.
that, I was like,
Ooh,
fuck,
you look bad.
that's bad.
Yeah.
And she's like, how?
Yeah,
if you
it
open the
is.
door, you better be prepared
Like,
to die.
if I'm in my car by myself, I do it more frequently, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
ever since my mom said that to me, she's like,
You have a problem.
you know, you got a dog, you got a fiance, you're living on your own now. Like, you gotta like cool it.
She said that?
Yeah, like she talked
Well, how
to me.
bad was your road rage?
It was
like, you trying to
bad.
get out of the car and beat the guy?
It was
or-
on the shoulder.
Not like that, but it was like we were fucking. I was like full throttle, like
Oh,
trying to
you
get
were-
around the
okay.
guy. Like it went on for like a couple minutes.
Oh, damn. That's a road incident.
Yeah. But after that, I realized it was like, so every time I get that like feeling of raging
The
now
demon
by
mode.
myself, I'm like, all right, I gotta remember what my mom said. Like, cool it.
She's like
let
the
it
little,
go.
She's the cloud.
She's like a
talking to
little
you.
angel over here.
Yeah.
Like, Greg, don't do it. And there's the fucking other guy, like the SpongeBob
you,
shit. The dude on the shoulders.
Very hot.
Yes. It's like, yeah, kill that guy.
Yeah.
So it's like I got that on my shoulders now to think of. But I'm glad she said it because like I've been working on it.
That's good.
But so now, like, how that relates to what we're talking about is like, if Kristen or somebody or someone else says something to me, am I gonna like just no? I'm gonna think before I speak.
So what I wrote down, and this is December 5th, 2019.
What the fuck did you just look through?
I messaged myself.
2019.
Yeah.
That's before COVID.
Yo,
When
it is.
and that's when shit went down.
COVID started.
That's when shit started hitting the fan
You
because
started COVID, huh?
when a man doesn't feel appreciated in the area of his presence, he becomes a version of a man that he can give you and still survive. You won't like that version. It's silent, frustrated, sharp with his words, and is short-tempered.
You wrote that in your post somewhere in the like
2019.
frequently
So,
recently.
and a lot of time, when I put those fucking captions on, they're not, for sure as fuck, they're not motivational purposes. It's just shit I needed to hear,
Kinda
and like the older
Aristotle
version of
over
me.
here.
Just being
Astrology.
again, just looking in the fucking mirror and taking responsibility and lightening myself. So when a guy, you specifically, because you arguably, if not, have a worse temper than I do, when
Racist.
when you're mad and upset, you're fucking quick with it. You're sharp. You're very. It's making me. I don't care what you want to hear. This is the way it is. It's very emotionless.
Yeah.
And it's just, this is the way it is, and that's it.
Yeah.
So now when I was put in those positions, but like the problem was growing into the relationships. When I was put in those positions, the position I was put into wouldn't have happened if you just
We're considerate.
abundantly read inside the lines, and it wasn't like a fucking John Doe poetic statement. It was quite literally like,
This is
the
it. Read
only
it.
other thing I shouldn't say / can't say is stop fucking doing what you're doing. That it's bothering me. You continue to persistently do it. And now I got fucking all eyes on me, waiting for me to fuck up, which I did. And it was like, now it's like, fuck. It's like I talk up, it doesn't matter. He's the bad guy. He doesn't say anything, doesn't matter. He's the bad guy. You go and reach out to them, he's toxic. He's trying to. So it was just like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
It's a lose-lose situation after you've reached that point.
And my stubbornness now lies in, and like as and the way Kelsey is receiving it could be within that fashion of like, I don't want to say masculinity, like because I'm definitely not toxic, but I do have maybe some features that like aren't so fucking pleasant to the way they are, but that doesn't also mean I use them in a like I've never laid my hands on a girl, never disrespected a girl, I'll often inflict the pain on myself before I give it out. You know what I mean? But I can talk to you guys and Kelsey and Kristen freely because we're mature enough to have the conversations. But yeah, saying that to maybe an unnurtured or an unmature mindset, it comes across as like,
He's a misogynist.
yeah, and it's just like I'm not trying to be right. It's just like what the cards I was dealt and how I feel about them. Can I change? Absolutely. Something made me this. Does that mean I can't go back? No, absolutely I can't go back. Who knows? I may even be in a fucking couple years, maybe the lover of the group and be like so infatuated by like somebody, like that's there. And like and I would have for sure as fuck would never expect it, but like who knows? It's not to say I can't love or don't want to get in a relationship. Yeah, because when I do love, I love heavenly. Like I'm really in on everything. I'm in on my work. I'm in on my passion. I'm in on the group. A lot. I fuck up all the time. Hey guys, sorry. Give you guys space. Whenever I'm allowed back in, I own I did it in the past, but I'll own it now because it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like the real ones are always gonna come back. We all know that, but it's just like that. Those stigmas growing up are just like, yeah, just okay. It was your fault. You grow, you learn from it, and that was it. You became a better version. But now it's like when, and we hated the term, and I hate the term, the beta male term. But it's like when we're often in faced with that adversity or mediocrity, and it's like the answer is just through, and it's not. It's just like we dwell and stuff like that. That's where I think, I don't know. That's where guys have to put their shit to the side and like do that. And like on the other end of the perspective, if you're in a relationship and stuff like that, that's where the girl saves you. Like that's where she keeps your peace. She keeps your soul. Because like I don't know. I'm very just like fucking.
Yeah, I mean, if you pick the girl that's right for you, that should naturally just be how it is. I think
It's like effortless. It should be.
it should be effortless.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be something that you need to learn or she needs to learn and do.
and
it
I
should
shouldn't have
just
to
be
speak
the
on
way
it.
things
and
are.
vice versa for the girl too. She shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
For the guy. I'm not just saying, but again, just from given my perspective, but yeah, no, I agree 100% because then it's like it's not a fucking rough draft. Like this is like, you know what I mean? I also don't want perfect because I know I just said rough draft, so a lot of you guys are gonna be like, yeah, final exam. But like, no, it's not that, but it's just the fact of growing together, allowing yourselves to grow together.
Yeah.
Like I often looked at marriage as like a business. Right?
I mean, it's a really booming business.
Well, but point
divorces.
being, the mindset of it being is like, you're not fucking perfect out of the gate. You have the honeymoon stage. You have the fuck stage. You have the. Kelsey said it. You guys took you guys took a break. Yeah, but like you guys realized like not fuck, but like you both wanted that. You both made the decision, and now you guys are happily and God willing can go as long as you're allowed to go. 13 plus years, like that is a decision you both made. It wasn't like he needs me, I need her. So like when I touch
getting back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it was just a decision that like I can now That doesn't mean you don't have faults, and that doesn't mean Kristen has faults. You both, every fucking buddy has baggage. But it was just like I can see growing with him or her.
Yep.
Like that's what I want. I don't want perfect. Doesn't exist. I try to create perfect. I haven't fucking like been working 30 hours in like fucking a day, and I forget to now all of a sudden facial hair is coming in. And it's just like I don't want that non-attainable lifestyle because like. And like when you get like if I could figure it out, and the reason why I wanted it now instead of like when I'm made already, and why I preach that to you guys, like why I want somebody in the process, is because like I want it when it's busy, and then when it gets easy, then like we can fucking boom, like we can do great, we can do amazing things. Because now it's like when I have it made, it's like. Sure, I can go and fucking knock it out of the park with somebody, but then, like, what were you around for?
Right, yeah. You need someone to grow with you so that you can reap the benefits of it.
And knowing my sacrifices, that's probably how exactly it's going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Knowing the way my fucking cards are laid out. But it's like, but then that's when I would have to be like, okay, and, like, lay the groundwork down. Like, this is what's happened in the past. This is what I don't like. This is what I do like.
Yeah.
Are you going to fit it? And I don't know if that, playing on that role of, like, like you look at a girl a certain way. No, I do want a certain girl though. I don't look at girls a certain way, but the girl that I want, I would never say, Kelsey, you have to do this. Kristen, I would never do that. I'm not dating them. You know what I mean? Like they're not my girl. But like when I'm going and picturing that girl and this and that, it's just like that's the one I want. That doesn't mean,
Well, you said it before, you shouldn't have to compromise, and that's the truth. I mean, but there is a growing period with every new relationship that there are some compromises that need to be made so you can figure out what you do and do not like.
And those are the ones I'm
someone.
talking about that I will have to make.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be like, these are the fucking, I'm not going to be like, this
if
is the contract.
If you don't do this, you ain't got a chance.
Like, no, but like also if they mess up, I'm going to be, again, same thing. Hey, XYZ, can we work on it?
Yeah.
That's all I want. Because like I said, nobody, like I keep saying it so I'm right in the face. I'm the fuck up. I'm the one who got it wrong. So like, just tell me. I'll change. I will change. If I want it enough, I will change. Like I will change. There's stuff I don't want to do on social media. If I want to make it on social media, it's not my fucking world. It's not my game. I got to play.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, that's where it all stems down to. And like where a lot of people are like, like I don't have like my version of love is like my version of love and your version is your version and XYZ. But the, I don't know. I mean, I played with the idea of like, can I love again? Like that's hard. It's a hard. I'm sure every fucking guy has had that fucking question before. But it's just like I don't. It doesn't have to. And you touched on it on. I think you said on the last podcast. You were like, you really have to dig through that girl before making those next steps. And you're right. That's absolutely important. And I saved that clip. I'm not gonna put it up, but I saved it because that's what I need to hear. Because in terms of like just me getting better, to be better for that girl, that's what I want. Because like I said, the one girl. Like, the reason why I put so much stress on this shit is because the one girl's going to have everything at the cost of nothing. Like, that is my goal.
But do you want them to have a cost? Because you said that if they show up after the fact, then they're just reaping the benefits of what you sowed and what were they there for kind of thing? So do you want that person
I don't want them to have the
cost
that I paid. I would like them to have maybe come through some adversity.
On their own.
And know their self-worth and XYZ and like learning and just like I said, owning themselves most importantly. Because the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I don't want no one should have to go through this. No one should have to go through this. And
and you want a lot, so
but I mean again, I can't say unfortunately because I chose this. I say that all the time.
As I said to you yesterday.
I can't say that.
Or this morning. I was like, you chose this life.
I can't do that because now I'm playing pity in a game that I created and I'm a fucking dumbass if I say that. So at giving everything at the cost of nothing, I guess the cost for them would be like I guess maybe like
dealing
just
with you. And
be home. I mean fuck it, that's enough honestly, but just be home. Be my home.
Yeah.
Home is not physical to me. Home is gym to me right now. It's somewhere I can go and just.
You think you can date someone that's not in the gym?
Breathe. Yeah, I've honestly played with the idea of dating not a gym girl. If I'm being completely honest. I need like, because I feel like first of all everybody that goes to the gym has mental problems, and I don't give two fucks what you say about that. But I need to be able to like, I can't tell you the feeling I feel walking into Just Lift at like 2:00, turning the lights on, no one's there. I pause the music, and it's just like all of that, and like even like talking on it, like I'm just so honed in emotionally to like that aspect of that like serenity, that because I know it's there. If I can do it alone, I know it's there, and I'm not special, so like I know if I can feel it, someone else can feel it. But the concept of it is just like. And I can't. It's so. I can do a podcast alone on what home actually means to me, and why I can say it so simply is because to me, I know what I know what it means. I understand it fully. It's like the word. Like I'm doing so fucking much, going through so many meetings right now, and to think in like God willing, 3 to 6 months, everything changes. Like. I've done more in quitting the job 6 months than I feel like I've done working for almost a decade.
Yeah.
My life
if you don't feel that, then it was wasted.
I really and then it comes across like now I can start talking on platforms and be so hopeful, but it's like I'm really not hopeful. And that's a hot take because I really don't give a fuck about your excuses. I really don't fucking care. Not to say mine are worse than yours or yours are worse than mine, but what I do know at the end of the day is if you keep pointing the finger, if you keep pointing the finger at opposing opportunities and you're not really, you are the problem.
Yeah.
And even when you're not, you are. But like that whole feeling of just like, I want that text to come through and like the world to stop. I want that phone call to come through and be like, and like I don't, and it's like I had it once, but it was just like, it wasn't sustainable. I had it once, but I was just like when it comes down to me being, and I play with the idea of emotionalist, like yeah, I have to be because like I can't let anybody close right now. I'm doing a lot. I can't derail. If I derail, I lose. So it's like. Yeah, you asked what's the cost. That would be the cost, putting up with me. Yeah, it was funny at the beginning of the statement, but now it's like real.
It's like, oh shit, that actually does
make
sense.
I am the baggage you have to handle. Now, granted, I'm going to touch heights I don't even know possible. Like, if I could, I would really work 7 days a week, like straight, if I really could. I really love everything that's going on, the freedom I'm allowed to have, the power I'm allowed to have to say, we spoke about it before, about like what somebody is and isn't allowed to say. I love the fact that I could say whatever the fuck I want to say with no backlash. Now, granted, the backlash is my brand takes a hit, but still, even at that rate, if like that bothers you, I didn't even want you around.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to build a team of like fucking leaders,
like-minded individuals.
Like I'm talking leaders, man. Like I can't even conversate in such a two-dimensional term. I can't conversate with followers right now. That was an ego statement, and I'm sorry. Don't take it like that. But I just can't. For nobody who doesn't like, if life doesn't suck enough already, I can't tell you it sucks.
Yeah.
Like you have to have this fucking like I'm working 90 hours and still want to do more for myself. And if you don't have that, I don't even want to breathe the same air. We shouldn't even be in the same atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And that might be an ego thing, but I don't know. But depending on who's seeing it on the other side of the lens, it's not. It's just because, like you said, just like-minded people. And that doesn't mean a 9 to 5 is not cool. I don't. We all start at a 9 to 5. No one's born into a fucking business role. I mean, unless you're a spoon baby. But like even still to that fashion, you're probably gonna work. I don't think anybody's ever had anything 100% handed to them.
That would be
yeah. But like
it would fail.
And that's that theory of like, yeah, I mean, what's the cost? Yeah, put up with this. Like that's literally the cost because there's a lot of
the cost is go all in.
Yeah, like you need to
the lifestyle that you want to live is all in.
Yeah, like we're on an island and all the bridges are burned.
There's no coconuts either.
And there's no coconuts because I don't even know if I like coconuts. But you can't even see anything in sight. Like there's no.
It's just
I can swim to the main. Like no, like we're dying for this.
Yeah.
So like when people ask like love, yeah, like that's what love means to me. Run that clip back. That's what it is. It's like that's.
I think that's what it It's supposed to be kind of.
Thank you.
Know?
And
like,
you were both. I saw you both in my peripheral nodding your head when I said certain things. That's just how I grew up. So everything I've said in this podcast, and if you want to judge me, that's fine. I'm allowing you to. Like, me speaking my mind and having an opinion, I'm allowing that. Like, I want you guys to judge me. I want to grow. But, like, also understand that, like, there are people and again, we're in this area of the world that, like, we weren't fed silver spoons. So, like, when shit hits the fan, like, life's a bitch. Who's fucking who? You know what I mean? Like, that's the analogy. And it's like, if you're not just gonna own up to it, you're literally, and we said it before, adapt or you're gonna lose.
You die.
You're gonna lose. And, like, I don't have a safety net. I don't have a dad that's making it. I don't have a mom that's making it. I mean, I had the biggest pleasure. I had the biggest flex of all is they both loved me. And that sounds gay and corny, and I get you. You guys don't even know. You guys don't even know that level of me. But it's like that's that level that's in there that I just don't vocally speak now because I don't want vultures fucking around. You guys know how I can love. I can love your girlfriend probably better than you. You know what I mean? Like, I can love very, very strongly, but I have to be careful. I have to be careful. There's so much money on my head, so much responsibility. You guys don't even know the responsibility I hold in this very household. It's like you guys are fighting to, you guys are fighting for the next generation. I'm fighting for the one above me and the one that may or may not exist below me. Like, that's my fire. Because I don't think dad should work anymore. If dad's waking up at 6 o'clock, I'm losing. I shouldn't be winning. And, like, decisions I've made in life are just like, fuck, should I have made that? We could have been in a better situation, but I mean, I have to have fun in the process, and we're not like fucking dead broke. I mean, I have a lot. I have a lot compared to people, but like stuff like that makes me, So the cost is, put up with fucking watch all my podcasts before you date me.
That's a lot of hours. Do your homework.
Yeah, literally. It's just
Due diligence.
And I don't know.
I feel like this is gonna be a 2-part upload.
This is definitely not a 2-part upload.
You don't think?
No.
This is like 2.5 hours long.
Nah,
That's it?
Yeah, it is.
Hold on.
It was 6:25 the total record time. What are we at?
Oh, 40.
40? 440?
No, 40. 40 minutes.
Left?
No, 40 minutes rolling right now.
Oh,
left.
So we're I think we're at 3 hours.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, this is a long podcast.
No way.
This is a two.
This is
a
going
two.
up.
When did I
two
die?
At like 2 hours
Two
and
and
something
2:30.
minutes.
You shitting me?
Yeah. You shit me?
That was like an hour and a half.
my
No,
God, no.
we're gonna have it for a while.
Shit.
This is a 2-part upload. You should do a 2-part. There's a lot
All
of
right, well,
information.
I need your
in
help
this.
then. I need your help on
Where?
where to split it.
Probably some quote that you say and then just fucking.
That's crazy. I kind of want to do one part. All right. Well, is there any? I've
That's
been
a long
rambling.
video.
And you guys.
That's a fucking like
That's a
Marvel
movie. That's a Netflix
That's
original.
like Lord of the Rings, man. That's like John Wick 4.
Do you guys have anything based on anything I said? Any insight? Any advice? Any like for people watching? Like if someone's just as broken, if not more broken than me, like what you want to?
I don't know. You hit a lot of good points.
That's a lot what I said.
Yeah, it was, and it's just like your
I mean, I hope you guys
internalization. Yeah. I mean, I've heard you say it all before.
Yeah.
Like I know what you want,
Yeah.
and like it's a lot. It's mentally draining. It's physically draining. But for what you want, that's the price you got to pay, and you know that.
No, yeah. That's why I don't complain on. And I
No, yeah.
I mean, I complain to you guys, but that's because you.
Yeah, no, we're here
Yeah.
to fucking get you through it.
Right.
But the average person would probably hear everything you say and just be like, "Yo, this guy's fucking nuts." Like, why would you do all that?
And I would hope so.
Yeah. Like most people don't want to live every day like, damn, yo, if I don't fucking hustle, I might not make it. Like there's comfort in knowing that you don't have all this above you. Yeah. And that's, I guess you can call it being stagnant, but it's also keeping yourself in a safe spot, which I think as people, like I said before, if you don't have to make your life harder, you're not going to. You did. Yeah. And you're coming out above where you started because of it. If you don't jump out of your comfort zone, you're not going to grow. And quite literally, you fucking leaped off the skyscraper of comfort zone, and now you're free falling.
I don't even know where the parachute
Yeah, so
Agreed.
you gotta make a parachute on the way down. Maybe just like stretch your skin out and be a squirrel. But yeah, no, it's hard to relate to because people gotta be in your shoes, and if it makes you unrelatable, then you're not doing enough. You know, like not you, the person, the person listening. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I can't really add much to that because of just what I do.
No, I mean just.
But
I
completely understand.
Was, yeah,
I completely understand what you're going through, what you're saying, and what you want, and what you feel, and why you feel.
Yeah. It's just like understanding.
Like from the last podcast to this one, I understand a lot more about your opinions. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Like,
and I hope Kelsey. Yeah.
Well, I hope she watches it.
I hope she watches it because I want to go into it with the girls. Like, I'm not an asshole. This is what, or I am an asshole.
Sound like one.
This is why I sound the way I am, and maybe there's a little more sympathy, and we reach common grounds. Not that I don't want pity, but almost like just a comprehension
understood.
level. Exactly. Yeah, just to see like why maybe I may view girls negatively, you know, according to you guys on how I said it, the way I do. And again, it's not in a negative fashion. I love you guys. Like I wouldn't be wanting to change if I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want this much if I didn't. And I say that all the time. If I didn't want more, I would stop. I'm taken care of.
Yeah.
I can.
You would just stay comfortable.
I can just disappear and I'd be okay.
Mm-hmm. But that's not cool.
No, it's not. But what do you got?
I feel the same way as you do, honestly. The drive just for like to achieve and to have things that you didn't have before. Like, I don't know. Some people look at me, they don't think I work at all. I fucking work a lot.
You're me?
They don't think I work. I make it look like I don't work.
Yeah,
I guess that's a good thing.
That's a cool thing.
That's a good thing. Like,
the fuck out.
because when I'm working, like, I'm stressing the fuck out, like he said. Like, I don't know. Kristen knows it all the time. Like, I'm at home, I'm fucking grinding a lot. Like, these past 5, 6 months have just been nonstop, honestly, and it drives me insane. And I don't really show that. Like, if I'm, you know, when I'm working for my main job, right, that's already stressing me out. When I'm done with that, then it's like, okay, now I got to do job number 2. And that's doing, you know, all the accounting for my dad's, you know, real estate shit. That is more stressful than my actual job. Yeah. So then I have to do all of that, you know, because my brother was supposed to take over part of that. He never did. Every time I remind him, it's like, oh, I forgot. I'm like, great. So I got to step up to the table. I got to do everything that everyone else is not doing. And because he runs it so poorly and uses all the wrong cards for everything, everything is fucked up. And you guys know how much he buys. So I got to fix everything. So I feel a lot of pressure from that. Then it's like, okay, now I have my own shit to do now. Now I jumped into this whole real estate thing. I have a lot of pressure coming from the management company. It's like, you know, the economy is not great right now. Selling a house right now is hard. If you don't have a name for yourself, you're going to have to work extra hard. When you're down, it's like some dude came up with this, like, pretty cool analogy with like surfing or some shit. I forgot how exactly it went, but it was like some days you go surfing, you hit great waves, you have an awesome day. Some days you don't. There's no waves at all. You have a shit day. But during that off time, that's when you invest in yourself. That's when you build upon your skills so that you could be better the next day and be prepared for that. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So now I got this real estate shit, and then on top of that, I'm still trying to build my company, my brand that I started, you know, 10 years ago. And it's like, it's a struggle. I feel like I'm working all the time. Yeah. It's like, and then I got to make time for Kristen. I got to make time for my dog. I got to make time for, you know, taking care of the house and going to the gym. Like, going to the gym takes up a lot of my time now, ever since I, you know, fell in love with it 2 years ago.
You definitely need that though, because that's what's
the gym is what keeps me sane, honestly.
Yep.
And this could be another topic for a podcast, but like ever since I've started going to the gym, like I need that in my daily routine, or else I have a shit day.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, I take 2 rest days a week, you know, just so I can recover. But like if I miss one of the 5 days that I'm supposed to go, like I'm miserable.
Agreed.
So
that's how you know you've made it part of your habit.
Yes, like I used to not being a morning person. I never thought I would become a morning person, like waking up before 8 o'clock, because I couldn't breathe in my sleep because I was so heavy. I had sleep apnea, basically.
We're about to get on that wave.
So at that moment, that's when I knew I had to change my life to be better. And ever since then, like, life has been better. I've been taking care of more opportunities. And every time I see people that I haven't seen in a while, their reaction is like crazy
To what you look like?
to like how I look,
And that's
like
all you
physically.
need. That's all you need.
And that gives me all the more motivation. Like when I look at myself in the mirror every day, like I'm like, shit, man, like I'm still pretty fat. But then when
Yeah.
people who haven't seen me since before COVID, they're like, are you even the same person
Yeah,
anymore?
What happened?
So I don't know. Like it's that thing I said before. It's like I'm that kind of person that's like, you know, I'm proud of like what I've done, but like I still need more. And I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with what I have. And that's something I got to work on. Like Kristen tells me it all the time. She's like, you have to just slow down at some times and appreciate like what you've achieved and what you have in life. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Cause like I'm basically a family now. I have my fiance, I have a dog, I have my own place. I got 3 cars that I love. And it's like, some days I wake up, I'm like, I feel like I'm shit compared to my peers. And then I look at myself from 10 years ago, I'm like, fuck, that's the kind of person you became. That's insane. So I don't know. It's, yeah, I 100% agree with like what you're saying about like what you want. You know, you got to be all in. Like, I think that's the mentality that we need, honestly. For me, at least, like I need that drive and to be able to like feel like I'm doing the impossible. Otherwise, I feel stagnant and, you know, like I'm not doing enough.
Yeah. Well, it's also, like she said, you need to stop and just appreciate what you have and what you made.
Mm-hmm.
Having that drive that makes you feel like you don't have enough is what got you there.
Yeah.
So it's not that you should get rid of that drive. It's when you feel overwhelmed with the feeling like I'm not doing enough, and say so-and-so got a new car and I thought I was going to have a new car before him and this and that, that's when it's important to look back and say, you know,
Right.
2-3 years ago, I didn't have shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like being
You know?
proud of how much you've accomplished, but still respecting yourself to want more.
Yeah. And, you know, it's something I mentioned to you guys before in private, and I've told, you know, my friends about it. Like, when that overwhelm becomes too much, like, I break down.
Yeah.
Like, silently on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 2 months ago, I literally broke down out of nowhere in my bed, and I just sat there all night. Kristen came up to me and was like, what the fuck's going on? Blah, blah. And, like, that's why, you know, sometimes I leave the group chat or I just ignore it entirely for a few days or a week at a time. Yeah. It's because, like, I have so much bottled up inside me that I can't function.
Yeah.
So that's when that's when I tell myself, like, I need to know, like, this is where you need to slow down, bring more balance into your life, you know.
It's honestly why this stuff started, if I'm being
It's
completely
crazy.
honest. That's why, like, this happened.
Just becoming more, like, mindful of my own mental health.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, you got that go attitude.
yeah, like, you can
Eventually,
only
you gotta
go
pump the
so
brakes.
much at a certain time before you hit a roadblock.
Yeah,
and
you're gonna run out of gas.
Humble yourself again.
Yep.
If that's not the story of my life, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Well, that's just, like I said, that's just the way we grew up. And because we saw what we saw growing up, that's what you think it is. That's what you think normal is.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much working yourself until you're to the bone.
Right.
And then hopefully you get another day out of it if you take a little break. Like,
yeah. Because like, you can work yourself to the bone doing the same thing over and over again for the rest of your life, or you can work yourself to the bone doing what you think wasn't possible, and that's how you're gonna grow.
Yeah. And then eventually all your hard work pays off and you live a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take risks. Like, everything you do there's got to be some sort of risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think where we'll close it out is just making sure whatever you're doing, whether it be relational, entrepreneurial route, self-sustained, whatever, business owner, whatever, even in work, just make sure it can't just be about money, and it might, again, hot take, can't just be about money, and it can't just be about love. It's got to be a bigger picture. It's got to be bigger than yourselves if it's in a relationship, or yourself if you're doing it alone. As business owners, and even, I mean, you're not a direct one, but you have the capacity to think in that fashion, which I just got to break you out of your mold and see where I can fit you in to that route, because you have double the traits and triple the work ethic. But the fact that the matter is what Greg said, is just I took the risk, so I'll take the hits and then figure it out, and that's my promise to Andy. But that's another conversation. But it's got to be bigger than you. It's got to be, right, because I mean, when you're dating, I think the goal, right, is marriage. I think most people, once you're serious about it, the goal is marriage, kids, or if it's not kids, it's just to create a legacy that you can pass on, whether it be a joint route, and just wanting to do more than just the simple things. With business, obviously, if you're why, or you're this or you're that, is why you're in business, is if it's just to earn money, you're gonna fizzle out before you even start. It's got to be way bigger than that concept. And it's just, if you're not doing it for anything more than you, yourself, your team, and stuff like that. As soon as I started being vocal about the vision, that's when it lit a fire on my ass. I let him in on ideas, businesses, designs, creations. I don't know what the fuck vibrated over there, because there's nothing over there.
That was my phone, I think.
Oh, and then where I can learn from Greg and his father and stuff like that is just fucking listening to them. And then us listening to each other, we're just like growing off each other. So that's kind of what we'll round it here, only because that's a tangent in and of itself of like where business has helped beyond business on like a self improvement route, right? Because I feel like if you're in the business of people, and like everything involves people, that's the theory of it, then you'll never go dry. Because if you want to invest, you got to invest in people before you invest in an idea. And people build businesses. So making the brand or whatever your vision is bigger than yourself is my biggest advice, and like where we'll next time when we're together with the boys kind of go off on that route on where it's helped us. Is there any closing? That was my closing. Do you guys want to add anything?
No, I mean, I think you got it all figured out there. Oh, I just added something for the next time we talk.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was my closing, basically.
Yeah. So if it's a 2-part, I'll label part 1 of 2 in the drop when we put the video out. But this should be relatively fast because it's in 1080. This should honestly upload.
Yeah, I feel like it should be a 2-part.
Honestly,
just for like, we talked about a lot.
We did. We did.
And to sit through all of it and grasp all of it, because a lot of what you said specifically about halfway through, you really need to like watch and then think about it.
Yeah.
If you watch and then keep watching, you're gonna forget.
Right.
So I think a 2-part upload would be pretty.
So however it goes out, it goes out. Obviously their Instagrams are below in the bio or any affiliate programs and stuff like that. So the part 2 of this will be with the females. Whenever it does come out, I will label it accordingly. And then if I just so happen I can't get the females, the next time we get together, it'll be on one of the topics we'll elaborate on and continue.
Yeah, we got other stuff to talk about.
Moving this forward.
I'm trying to keep it under 4 hours.
That's crazy. I'm trying to max that fucking express.
Well, now we got 1080. We can
That's
run all day.
sick. Now,
Oh, is this 1080?
Yeah.
That's why it's 5 hours.
Yeah.
What do you think? If my fucking camera lit on
That
fire,
thing would have been a bonfire.
I have to find a way to externally fucking charge it too. I gotta get like a wall or something. I mean, a charger to externally keep the battery alive, because that's our biggest problem now. The express cards are gonna be fine. So
One thing we could do in the future is do a live stream and
Oh,
have people
gosh.
send us questions.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
we could. How we do Instagram?
Or YouTube or Instagram.
YouTube has a live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know.
And they have a rolling chat box.
Or like a Twitch. I don't know. Any platform would work.
YouTube would probably be
Like
best.
you'd give out a time and day, and have people
Like sign in and
Sign
like,
in,
yeah,
and then
this is where you're going.
you'll get questions.
Because when I put the questionnaires on my story, a lot of people were like responsive on it.
I was going to say do another one, but we're going to probably talk about something different
and
than
we're
these
gonna do a
topics.
mukbang at some point.
We need to do a mukbang. We need to do some kind of
Wait,
eating
what the fuck
challenge.
is that?
The
It's
one
where we
eat
just-
a
Oh,
fuckload
the
of
one you
food.
sent, the one you
Yo,
sent.
Wendy's. I'm sorry. White Castle Crave Case. We each get one,
We're gonna get Will there too.
and we have to finish a 40 case before the end of the podcast.
Sleeping.
That's it.
Yup. That's
40.
Oh no. We'll do the fast food thing. We get something from every fast food place and make a dish out of it.
Oh, like fries from here, chicken nuggets from there, burgers. From
I did
there.
that once
Okay.
before and I threw up.
That'd be sick.
So it's going to be a 10,000
Literally.
calorie YouTube
Let's do a
upload.
2,000 or
And
3,000.
So 30,000.
30,000 calories.
and we talk about the
That's
food
crazy.
and like some other
this shit
topics.
Yeah.
bussin'. That's crazy.
I think that would be very entertaining.
And a gummy.
And a gummy.
Yeah.
Dude, we got content till like next
Yo,
decade.
gummy
But it's
would
good.
be
I mean, 'cause
wild.
we knock these out once a week. You know, I mean, we never had structure beforehand, but we knock these out once
No,
a week.
the
You know what I mean?
structure like this helps
Yeah,
big time.
I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it kept us. We did tangents, which I like. I'm not opposed to that, but then we brought it back, so I like that.
Yeah.
So, all right,
That's a wrap.
catch you guys
See ya.
in the next one.